Backstage buzz, we prep for the sound. The curtain falls and the crowd's all round. The night's still young and the stage is set. Our voice is ready, no time for regret. Wisdom and laughter in a verbal embrace. Tonight we're ruling this electric space. Wonders real when it's time for us. Diving deep in after-show debates. Echoed loud with hot takes so contentious. Hearts race on, our pulse relentless. Yeah, we're alive with every mic. Yeah, like the stars and like the night.
Hello, Naysayer Nation. We are back for another week of the now Sunday Aftershow Podcast. I am the head Naysayer in charge, all father of the Naysayers, Sadot the Gamer, joined by my co-host, Mr. Jason Shockblast. How you doing?
That was weird. But I'll allow it.
I felt like being formal.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man. Patriots 1-0. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't care. When I meant how are you, I meant to ask instead, how is our favorite boy Thor? Because that's what I'm honestly much more curious about.
He's doing good. A little incident earlier. God, it feels like it was a million years ago, but yeah, had a little incident last week. Was in the doggy ER for a day or two, and he's been great. It's weird. It's weird how like he just goes there and they fix him, you know. So
if only they could fix him for cheaper.
yeah. I mean, I've kind of like been thinking. I've been bothered by this a little bit. I've been thinking about it a lot. Like we've spent like a lot of money keeping him alive these last 18 months. And, at no point in time have I ever like tried to crowdfund his medical bills. And I just feel like I see so many people, and this is not directed at anybody, it's just a general observation over the years that like are not in a position to be a full-time content creator at all.
Right.
That are like constantly trying to crowdfund their bills, their rent, and it's like
that's the way it is. I feel like if anyone's going to crowdfund for something, it should be for Thor.
Yeah, but like I guess I'm just old school, man. Like I've been working since I was 14 years old. I think maybe even younger than that. Like I've always had to work for everything I have, and it sucks. Trust me, I would rather spend $3,000 on literally anything else.
Strippers?
Oh, no, definitely not that. But like, I
mean, let's be real. Jay Shockblast would spend that $3,000 on Hot Toys.
That's probably fair. But like, I don't even think we spent $3,000 on our cruise. Maybe we did. I don't know. But like, it's just wild. I mean, obviously we love Thor and we're gonna do whatever we can to make him better. But yeah,
I think you should do it. I understand because I'm literally the same way. My family is always telling me it's okay to ask for help. I never ask for help.
Yeah,
I famously never ask for help. I never try to borrow. I've never actually borrowed money from a friend ever.
Yeah, I just think about it though, because like I don't know, man. Like I have never been. It's actually funny. Like literally today in my Facebook memories, I got approved for like channel memberships. Like I was one of the first wave of people that was able to do channel memberships on YouTube, and like it's not something that I put up in everybody's face. You're never gonna see a meter on the screen. Oh, subs, sub goal, like those kind of things.
I mean, let's be honest, it sucks on YouTube anyway. Twitch is where you want to do that.
Right. No, but I get that. But like, I do them both, like there's no tip jar. There's none of that stuff. Sure, you could do it. I'm not going to say no, but like,
Everyone should give Jay Shock less the tip.
no, I mean, and that's not the point of this either. Like, it's more just, I struggle thinking about how much we've like spent on just Thor since he started having his heart issues. And I see people, and I'm sure it was a bait video I saw today, but like tweeting, or somebody, I think it was Drama Alert, tweeted about some person I've never like heard of before complaining that they only had 7,000 subs in the last month. Like, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Twitch subs?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, like
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and you're complaining that it's not enough. And I'm like, give me a break.
If 7,000 subs is not enough, your lifestyle needs to be adjusted.
Yeah.
live within your means, but ideally get in the sweet spot below your means. It's save those splurges for like, maybe minor stuff, once a year, treat yourself or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I see all these people go out and buy these like big fancy cars and everything, and like I get it, but like
I would never spend money on a fancy car.
Yeah, like I have a Ford Explorer, which is like the most boring vehicle ever. It's like also pretty much every police like cruiser ever right now, but I got it new at the time and it was like 36,000. And I was like, man, I can't believe I just bought this brand new $36,000 vehicle. And that was great to me. Like, I don't need anything more than that, like.
Right. Oh, speak it. We gotta say what's up to the naysayers. What's up? Who's first? Marvel, congratulations on beating everyone. What's up, Old Man Eastwood? Travis, you finished Outlaws and now you have a crippling Space Marine 2 addiction. That checks out. Great game. What's up, Steven, Charles, Now Flow? What's up, Gabe? Appreciate everyone hanging out. And also thank you everyone who's been consistently supporting my channel. Having a really crazy week on the channel. Overall on the official Durag Nation channel. I think this might be my best or second best week.
Oh wow.
On YouTube. I'm averaging almost 200,000 views a day.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. I just been kind of relaxing.
Yeah.
Catching up with some games, playing some anime. Watching some anime. I popped open I was playing some NBA 2K25 over the weekend. Thanks to an anonymous gift from somebody that I know who hooked it up. I played
who I heard hooked it up without taking a game for themselves.
That's even better.
And I heard this person did it, so you had to look at Jason Tatum all the time.
Well, that is probably one of the few downsides so far. I definitely got to acknowledge that. Booting up the game and seeing Jason Tatum's stupid face in that.
I love that for you. I honestly do. It was worth it. Remember, we got the 6 banner hanging.
Boo. Astro Bot. Also, I was playing a little bit of that earlier today.
Can we get right? I just have to interrupt and just interject and say that like that game is phenomenal.
Oh, it's a bit. I mean, I knew I was gonna. I definitely understood why people were gonna like it because I enjoyed Astro's Playroom. Still, I feel like the best game to actually utilize the DualSense controller. I was playing for like an hour before the podcast just because I wanted to get some playtime in before so I can actually talk about it. And yeah, it feels like a therapy game. It's like it's like really well made. It's creative. It's cute. It's low stakes, no drama. It's just a great time. And I think the other reason it's resonating is that it's nostalgic. Like it kind of takes you back to those fun platformers from when I was a kid and Jay Shock Blast was a young adult.
We're like, there's like 5-6 years difference between us, by the way.
Allegedly. Yeah, like I was, because when I was playing, I was thinking of like games like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Banjo and Kazooie, Jack and Daxter, so games like that. And it's just a great time. definitely understood it. The hype. I'm definitely looking forward to finishing it and collecting all of the bots. But I had to boot up Space Marine because there was a little too much cuteness, so I had to rip some aliens in half.
Yeah. So to answer Eastern's questions, no, it's not free. It's literally in a case, but it's worth every penny.
It's what, $50?
I think it was 60
$60. Yeah,
I mean, I understand that Astro's Playroom was like this cool little tech demo that they gave out for free with the PlayStation when it came out, but like, I don't know, man, this is worth every penny. It's honestly, I'm not a big platformer, and I adore it. It's awesome. I can't wait to play more.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll definitely be finishing Astro Bot. It came at the perfect time, Jay, because Sony had another game that launched not long before Astro Bot came out that I think Jay might actually have a physical copy of as well.
I wish I did, but I do have this.
Oh, you have the controller.
I did end up getting the controller. I got it because the controller looks amazing. I haven't opened it yet. I don't know if I'm gonna open it.
You might want to hold on to that, Jay, because that might be a collector's item.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, I mean, I obviously we knew very early on. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, but I believe all the hype, believe all the reviews.
I also wanted to address this.
Astro Bot is great.
Now, you guys know I'm the Xbox guy here, right?
100%.
But I'm fair. Like I like what I like, and like any Xbox fan that is trying to bust on this game because it's on PlayStation is delusional. Like,
please
delusional.
do not bust on Astro Bot's face. Please and thank you. He's a good boy. Leave him alone. Yeah, I actually saw a post on Twitter. Someone, Xbox fanboy, posted the Metacritic score for Mario Galaxy, and said something about every masterpiece has its cheap copy. It's just sad that these leftover console warriors just literally can't enjoy anything. Yeah. Like the Astro Bot is like the game in terms of joy.
I don't even understand what the Xbox tax is, to be honest with you. So no, I guess I don't think it's real.
The Xbox tax is the Xbox tax is a conspiracy theory created by console war fanboys on the Xbox side to cope with the fact that sometimes people don't like Xbox games. like they think that Xbox games are judged unfairly, and PlayStation games are treated better and don't get bad press, whereas they think everyone's just looking to trash Xbox games.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think most exclusive games on both sides are pretty average. There aren't many games on either platform that are like exclusive that make me say, "Oh, thank God I have this." Like on PlayStation, I can tell you 4 games off the top of my head, 5 games off the top of my head that I'm like, "Damn, I'm glad I have a PlayStation," and that's Ghost of Tsushima, the 3 Spider-Man games, and Astro Bot. Like those 5 games, I'm like, I am glad I have a PlayStation. All the other games, they're okay. I think some get a little overrated, but like on Xbox, off the top of my head, I can only think of Starfield.
I'm for one am glad that I got ripped apart. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that game. But if I was a bigger God of War fan, I would throw that in there. But
Yeah,
I'm just not. But I know a lot of people swear by God of War.
right.
That's it.
I just wasn't a big fan of those games. I think they're good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's also Xbox games that I'm like, oh, I think these are good. I just don't think they're like legendary. I can tell you that like those 5 PS5 games though, the 3 Spider-Mans, Ghost of Tsushima, and Astro Bot. I haven't even I've only finished one world on Astro Bot, and I can already tell you it's like just perfect, you know?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I did the first world. Then I did that. Then I did the ice cream world. Then I unlocked a secret galaxy and did that and did one of those worlds.
Yeah, my plan is I'm gonna do some streams, and it's gonna be me 100%ing each world.
Yeah.
So the first one I 100%ed. I got all the puzzle pieces, the characters, and the black holes.
It's still it gets progressively trickier to find the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the emulator, but I'm definitely glad that Astro Bot lived up to the hype. PlayStation, I think so PlayStation has had a pretty solid okay year, I'd say. Definitely a disaster in terms of their live service ambitions. Besides, I mean, if it wasn't for Helldivers 2, they would have completely struck out. I mean, Foam Stars died almost as fast as Concord. They just didn't take it offline. Concord, obviously, the biggest failure in the biggest AAA game failure in gaming history. Helldivers surprise hit that also immediately fell off due to a number of issues. And then they still have Fair Games, the Eat the Rich heist experience that they showed the trailer for previously that a bunch of people made fun of and didn't like. So they might have another bomb incoming. So we'll have to see how that one turns out.
Let's get something else out of the way before we get into the Concord stuff. I finally played a certain game we talked about last week, and I put a video up, and I feel my conscience is at ease. I was sent a package this week with the collector's edition. Here's the little stuffy I got for Dustborne.
Oh my god. Did you actually post it?
I did post it. I played about an hour of it. I did not open this.
Did it live up to the hype?
I think I don't know what people I like I said, I played about a little over an hour. I thought the game itself was okay. Like it was interesting if you're into that type of like kind of clicky, pointy, like walk around game. Yeah. It kind of remind me of those what is it, Telltale games?
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of those.
Like Wolf Among Us and stuff like that.
Yeah. And the art style was really cool. There was some cool stuff that they were doing to like get you to go to certain places. And there was like an alternate history going on that I thought was pretty cool. They talked about the failed assassination of John F. Kennedy that ended up killing his first wife.
And leading to robots.
Yeah, and talking about how his second wife is still alive and 104 years old, and Marilyn Monroe Kennedy is just a legend in the country. And I thought like that was kind of interesting, and there were some interesting things. But then like I found out that like one of the chicks, her power is gaslighting.
Yeah,
like that's her superpower, and then the other one, like she has the power to like trigger people, and like and then the length, like just all the, it was not for me. Okay, and here's the thing. Okay, I understand that there are devs and people that feel this way,
100%, yeah,
and that's fine. But you also have to understand, like, those people don't buy things.
they don't.
And it's been proven time and time again, because we see it in comics when like these writers that want to interject their belief system into existing characters, existing books, and they never sell. They just don't.
Yeah,
And then this game comes out, and I think I'm being fair. Like, I feel like there should be a place for this type of game for people like that are into this, but like, if they're not going to buy it, then like, you can hope, but I couldn't get into. I could
yeah.
like
Like a game like Dustborne, I don't mind. I think people should just leave them be. I mean, obviously,
right.
the game's not going to do well, but it is unfortunate. It is a little bit annoying because it's like these games are targeted towards like some of the most annoying people on Twitter, who are like, when you see them, you see all how active they are, dunking on the culture war, pushing their politics, hyping up, the Acolyte is good, and all these people just they never show up.
Right.
Like I feel like a lot, because a lot of them are full of shit, and those are people, the types that I object to. Like, if you're like an activist and you believe it, more power to you. I don't like but I feel like there's a lot of them that are just doing it because they want their peers to make them believe that they're a good person, and they're just trying to fit in, and they don't actually believe it. Because if as many people hyping up these games and these properties on social media, if all of them actually watched the shows and bought the stuff, like, they would be hits. Like, we'd be on Acolyte season 2. Tales of Kenzaro would have been a bestseller. Dustborne would have 100,000 concurrent players. Like, it just doesn't exist. Like,
I will say I didn't even meet this character, but I like it. It's cool. And it says Dustborne on the little anus. I mean, it's the bottom, right? So that's the butthole, right?
Stop touching that thing's butthole, Jay.
All right. Well, that happened.
Did I hear? Speaking of, I did not hear.
I heard something about that. Yeah.
The Defenders dissolve a greenlit Marvel to bring back all the Netflix characters.
I saw Hyrule was in the chat, and it just immediately made me want to touch the thing's butthole.
Yes, Hyrule can have that effect, I guess. Speaking of the woke, I went viral this week as well.
Oh my god, I showed that to my wife. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Had you really not seen that yet when I put that?
Literally, I had no idea. I had. Yeah, this was the day after I did my Space Marine stream. Because while I was streaming Space Marine, somebody on Twitch, of course it was someone on Twitch, they asked me if the game had any unnecessary wokeism. so I just made up some woke lore to go with Space Marine. I said something like, you had a mission where you had to do abortions and convince conservative women to have careers.
I thought that was the best line in the whole thing. Like, that line was just epic.
I was just trolling because it's just so cringe whenever I see shit like that. Like, you literally see me playing this game where I'm ripping off alien heads, and you're like, "Is it woke? Like, why do you care?" like yeah. It's so weird. But because I was looking for clips to post with Space Marine, so I posted some highlights. I was like, well, I don't think I'll do a full video, so I'll make some short content out of it, and throw something on the TikTok. So I was like, I remember that moment, so I edited it down and put it up on TikTok along with some gameplay and then just figure it out because I literally don't use TikTok. Like I'll post on something on TikTok like maybe once every 4 months or something. So I just went about my day, forgot about it, and then I see a tag from J Shock Blast, I'm retweeted. I'm being tweeted by Kate Bush, this anti right wing culture war account who makes fun of the right wing culture wars, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's my TikTok video.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know a lot about that person, but I've obviously seen their tweets, and yeah, that was. I mean that tweet had well over 1 million views. I mean, you didn't get paid for it, but
I got nothing. But the original on my TikTok has over 500,000 views.
there you go.
So, that's why they found that's probably why they found it, because apparently I've heard like it was like on a bunch of people's TikTok feeds.
That's funny.
Like it just went viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
So people reposted it on Twitter.
No, that's good shit. I thought that was great. Yeah, I mean, like back to Dustborne real quick, and then we'll go. I had no idea that I had no idea what the game was at all. I got an email. They're like, "Hey, we want to send you the collector's edition." Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a try." That's all I committed to, is I'll give it a try.
You gave it a try.
And it came like at the same time as Star Wars Outlaws. So like I kept kind of pushing it off. And then we talked about last week. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to deal with that. Like, well, I'm definitely not doing a playthrough. I thought I was going to just stream it and do it as like a playthrough and just only stream it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to record one video, and I'm going to get to the point where I can't really deal with it anymore, or it's like a little over an hour, and then I'm just going to cut bait, and I'll be able to say, hey, look, I tried. All right. I tried it out. I was fair. And I think I was pretty fair in my assessment.
You were not an ally, Jay.
I think as a video game, it's actually kind of cool. I'm just not into
the heavy-handed politics.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's weird to me that I hate the word gaslighting to begin with. I feel like it's like this catch-all excuse for people to like say why your really good put down isn't gonna work. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, you got me, so I'm just gonna say that you're gaslighting me, and then I Uno reverse carded it somehow. Like that's what gaslighting is to me. It's somebody that doesn't have the mental capacity to make a good comeback after they were utterly destroyed. Kind of like what my boy Kendrick Lamar did today to Drake. I'm sorry I keep like derailing things. But I don't know if you saw this.
He's performing the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because in his announcement, he had like his little 1 minute announcement where he doesn't really even say that much, but he had another diss. Only one opportunity to win a championship, no round twos. Very clearly directed at Drake. So Drake has had a really bad day, because not only did Kendrick Lamar get the Super Bowl after in one of Drake's disses, he said that he is the Super Bowl. I feel like Kendrick was like, oh, really? Well, I'm going to go get the Super Bowl.
He got it.
And then on top of that, today, one of the things that was brought up in all the Kendrick songs was Drake's very clear and obvious gambling problem. Today, he bet $210,000 on Taylor Fritz to win the U.S. Open men's final. Taylor Fritz promptly lost, like very badly. Yeah.
Yeah, you know you have a gambling problem if you're betting on
tennis.
Tennis. The betting any amount of money, especially $200,000 on tennis, is nasty work. That is definitely that you definitely have a problem. Like I've seen it all. I've seen it in fantasy sports. Like I dabbled in like daily. I used to dabble in daily fantasy, just basketball, you know. But I'd see guys like they would like when the one season's over, they'd be like, all right, now we're going to NFL, MLB, even within the basketball, there would be like people doing daily fantasy on like Summer League, and I'm like, bro, you have a problem.
Yeah. I don't gamble. I'm not like a big gambler at all, but I just think it's kind of funny how like all that happened. But I will say this one thing. Apparently Lil Wayne is extremely distraught over this announcement because the Super Bowl is in New Orleans. And I guess he really wanted this.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, Kendrick Lamar is him right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, having Lil Wayne, I mean, I would hope at least Kendrick invites Lil Wayne.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But aren't like Wayne and Drake tight?
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a line of the song where apparently Drake fucked Wayne's girl. That's conniving. Then got his face tatted, like a bitch apologizing.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I guess that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm like because the situation with Young Money on them is kind of weird. Obviously, Birdman was fucking people over. Wayne obviously was one who put Drake on in the first place. I don't think they have beef. Last I checked, but yeah, if Wayne got on stage with Kendrick, that probably would be a problem.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm wondering, and I feel like Kendrick would want that, but
what I think Wayne still messes with Drake enough where he wouldn't do that, but yeah,
and maybe that's why he's so upset over it. I don't know.
It would have been great. No, I think in general, like he wanted just to do the Super Bowl, but I get it. Like Wayne, obviously Wayne's a legend, but he doesn't have like that. He doesn't have that juice. He doesn't have that motion, as the kids say right now. He, it's been a while since his last album. He's not like a huge generational star with Billboard hits, like quite on a level like of a Beyonce. So it makes sense that they would go for Kendrick Lamar because he's having such a moment right now. But I hope Wayne eventually gets his moment.
Well, it's funny because the Super Bowl is in LA next year, and it would have made sense if I don't know. It doesn't matter, but yeah.
I think he just wants to say "fuck you" to Drake early. I won't be watching the actual game, but I'll definitely watch the halftime show.
I am like, I think my biggest disappointment is I'm not. I don't listen to a lot of rap or hip hop anymore. I did when I was growing up.
Shocking.
Like I literally had the first album Lil Wayne was ever on. It was Hot Boys, and I had that, and I knew who he was. I think he was like 16 at the time. So when like years later I realized he was like this huge solo star, I was actually kind of shocked. But I remember the night that like everything kept dropping because like my feed was like nothing but people talking about that.
Travis is older than you are.
Oh, is he? Yeah, well,
he acts like it.
Oh, well, I just remember it all happening, and I was like, I don't understand any of this, and I don't even know why I fell down the rabbit hole, but I did, and I've done it like so hard. I think I've watched every reaction video literally on the internet. Like, I finally actually just went back and listened to the Control verse for the first time to understand why it really started.
That was a moment. I actually did watch this live. I was just scrolling through my phone, and I saw Linkin Park was live. I was like, "What?"
Yeah. And I knew they were going to announce a new singer.
I had no idea. I just checked it out on my feed, and I saw that they had I just saw a woman on stage singing Chester's Fire. I was like, "Holy shit!" Oh, she was actually good. She did. I thought she did a good job.
Okay, so here's what happened. J. Cole and Drake made a song, and Kendrick did not appreciate it for reasons.
I believe the song was a first-person shooter.
Yes, first-person shooter, where they basically called the two of themselves and Kendrick the Big Three, and Kendrick said, "No, fuck the Big Three. It's just Big Me."
Yep.
And and everything spiraled out of control from there.
Yeah.
There were many diss tracks.
Lot of diss tracks. Yeah, J. Cole started out dissing Kendrick. He dropped a diss track. Then he seemed to have dropped then he dropped an album with multiple disses on there. And then at his concert, he surprisingly came out on stage after the lukewarm reception to the diss tracks and apologized and said it doesn't feel right. He's bowing out of the beef. He doesn't want any part of it. So he stepped away, leaving it just between Kendrick and Drake, and things definitely escalated. They traded diss records. Drake, calling him short, saying his baby mom was cheating on him, and he called Kendrick, and he applied Kendrick Lamar as a abuser who hits women, and then Kendrick said Drake's a bitch. He has fake abs. He uses Ozempic. Then it quickly escalated to he's a pedophile.
No, I believe it's a PDF file.
PDF file for the YouTube, and that really took a turn. He also made fun of him for his, because Drake is half white, and he's had kind of identity issues, and people have, and Rick Ross actually participated in the beef by calling him white boy, saying he's not actually black, and Kendrick capitalized on this by saying he's exploiting black culture and for a clout, and that he's a colonizer.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it's wild, and I love watching. I just love watching. I'm not usually a big reaction video guy, but watching people's reactions to hearing these things for the first time is so cool. And I actually started going back to that. I'm actually at the point where I'll watch people that sat there. I didn't even know this was a thing. Okay, I didn't know it was a thing that people would, when an album dropped, they would sit there on stream and just listen to the whole thing and analyze it.
Yeah.
Because I think about oh, okay, well that's gonna get blocked or demonetized, obviously.
Not on Twitch.
But yeah, well, it's on YouTube too. But yeah, so I didn't know that was a thing. So now I've been watching the people that will stream the whole album that didn't know that Kendrick was gonna pop up, and watching it get to that part and seeing the shock on their face when they hear Kendrick come in and come in hot. It's it's kind of cool. It's I like that. That's a cool experience to me, is seeing people genuinely shocked that one of their favorite artists pops up on a song they weren't expecting because it wasn't listed as a feature,
I love the Kai Cenat reaction.
Yeah,
when he was listening to I forgot which it was I think it was Family Matters.
Yeah,
the Drake. It was the Drake. No, it was that one Drake diss, and then it was really good, and then 15 minutes after Drake released it, Kendrick Lamar dropped a diss record. Everybody lost their mind.
Yeah.
Because it was a really good diss that Drake dropped, but then Kendrick just took the air right from under it.
Right. And I think it's wild that I think he's close to Drake too, right?
Yeah, even relatively recently, I think Drake sent Kai a new song. He'll just send him new songs to put on stream.
I've come to actually kind of appreciate that guy. I still don't know a ton about him, but he seems pretty genuine, and I think that's
Oh yeah, I'm a fan. I definitely like AMP. I think my favorite. They're all really talented. I love watching their rap ciphers every year. They're always really fun.
Wait, who are we talking about?
AMP, that's Kai Cenat's group.
Oh, okay.
I think Agent is my favorite, but I love watching I don't watch Duke Dennis's streams, but I like Duke and I like the lore around Duke Dennis. Like his whole
I
his
don't know
whole
what that is.
his whole thing is that he's got like the best aura. So like no matter what, girls and guys, they always like just kind of glaze him. It's like this whole thing. Like even when, on his rap verse, like when everybody in AMP, like Kevin Hart was doing the stream with Kai, and Kai was showing him the rap cipher, and you know Kai's part, Kevin Hart listened to it, said it was trash, and then when it got to Duke's part, before he even like played Duke's part, Kevin Hart looked at him and was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good," and, and everybody was like, "What the fuck, yo, the glaze, bro!" Like,
I think one of my favorite people I've found, and I don't know if anybody knows who this is. I think his name is like Dante. It's like It's Me Dante or something
oh
like that.
yeah, I see some of the stuff.
I like his videos, and I think like when I watch them, I'm like looking at his background, and like he's got all these posters up for games that I love, and like he's got a Deadpool poster and like The Force Unleashed and a couple other cool things that I watch it. I'm like, I feel like me and this guy would be friends.
I forgot we have older people in the chat. Glaze means what Eastwood, no dick riding. It is basically to the implication of glaze is that someone is unnecessarily hyping someone up or giving them more praise than is potentially necessary. So glaze obviously has a sexual connotation to it, but the idea is like you're doing too much, like, you know, like like you're like if I said like if Jay was like, oh, Sadot, I was watching Sadot the Gamer's latest video, and I had to say he's a generational talent. He's one of the greatest to ever do it on
sound like me
on YouTube. I love everything he does. Someone could be like, "Oh, that's glazing. Stop glazing." Yeah,
doesn't sound like something I would say, but
it sounds like something you say. But
yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Yeah. Anyway, so video games happened. I'm sorry. I've had like no. Listen, my wife and I were driving around earlier, and I said to her, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of excited about the show tonight. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I haven't talked to Sadot, and I have a lot of things I want to talk about with him.
Yeah,
so I've been just in a hurry to get those out of the way.
That's why like a lot could happen in a week, as we've seen.
Yeah. I don't have many people I can talk to about my newfound Kendrick obsession.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting me get that out of my system.
Definitely can't talk to Hyrule. He would not understand.
No, he's probably a Drake guy anyway.
He probably is.
Fucking Toronto.
Fucking Canadians.
Right.
They probably stick together.
Gojira. Ooh, Gojira was cool.
Anti-glaze. Anti-glaze. There was actually I guess I wouldn't necessarily call it breaking news, but it's kind of breaking news related to it. So last night I didn't bother posting it yet because I wanted to wait for information, but Rockstar fans were panicking because some alleged insider posted that some devs have reached out to him and said that GTA 6 internally was delayed and is targeting 2026 now instead of 2025. And everyone immediately panicked and started saying it's cooked. A bunch of people said he's a fraud. No one knows who he is. He has no sources. And he mentioned that he thought that the information is legit, and that he mentioned that other porters are going to be talking about it during the week. Like he mentioned Jason Schreier specifically would he expected him to have something on it as soon as tomorrow. And then Jason Schreier responded by saying No, I will not. Stop the cap. He wouldn't outright deny the report that it's delayed, but he said, "Yeah, I'm not confirming anything. I'm just watching football and taking my kids to the playground."
Did they ever even announce an actual release date?
They announced. I think the CEO and I think the game in general just was not a specific release date, but they said they're targeting 2025.
Gotcha.
Just note, but I think the thought, the rumblings was it's going to be fall 2025, like late 2020, later in 2025. So that's what people were operating under the assumption of. And there were some reports about a potential delay. I think it was from Kotaku. Everyone dunked on Kotaku because it was really baseless, but it was mostly baseless. It was related to issues that popped up around the devs that used to be doing remote work. Rockstar said basically everyone who's remote is going to have to mandatory have mandatory office sessions. They have to come in so that they can make sure everything gets out on time, which is a subtle way of laying people off without laying people off. Because if you have people who only got the job because they could do remote, and now they can't they can't continue to just do remote only. Yeah, that they're gonna be forced to to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope people are prepared when that game comes out. That I guarantee you the minimum price it's going to retail at for the base version is $100.
Oh, definitely.
And like people seem to be like so anti like anything, like people don't even want to pay more than $60 for games. It's wild to me. Like I understand that there's like I feel like everybody tries to like throw this blanket over video games and say that all video games only cost a lot because there's corporate greed and because the CEO has to make a lot of money. It's definitely not the case. I mean,
No.
like we're literally there have been a record number of people laid off this year, and yeah, it doesn't look good when there's somebody like Bungie that has their whoever runs them, showing off the way that he does.
Cars.
Yeah, like that doesn't look good. I get that, but the reality is that like these games cost a lot of money. I'm watching it with like Mortal Kombat right now, because it's wild because like I saw somebody today that's been bitching about the new Mortal Kombat expansion that's coming out. Like, ooh, we can't. Why would I pay $50 for a game that's not even like complete yet? And I don't even know what he's talking about. But today he was like tweeting about how, oh, congratulations to a real game like Street Fighter 6 selling 4 million copies. And I'm like, bro, I'm pretty sure if you bought the 4 Ninja Turtle costumes, you would have spent more than $50 that this Mortal Kombat expansion cost.
You would.
So what are you talking about? Like, it's weird. Like, I get it. That like, all right, new stuff. Like, nobody wants to spend money on anything.
I guarantee they never actually played Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, well, no, I know they did, but Street Fighter 6 has DLC as well. You know what I mean?
Paid DLC, season pass, paid cosmetics.
Yeah, so it's like I don't understand. Like, if you want more content for a game, you have to be willing to pay for it. Like, I remember back in the day, you'd put out a Mortal Kombat game for $60. You'd have a base roster of characters, and then you were done. And all you would do is fight each other. There was nothing else. Now there's like a story mode. There's like, I don't know, man.
These gamers are spoiled. And it's also probably an issue is that a lot of people just don't understand not only just basics of game development, but they don't understand business in general. Like, there was someone who commented on my video covering the AAA Invincible game.
Yeah.
And they said that probably what I think might be the stupidest gaming take in history, and this is saying something. They said that the Invincible game doesn't deserve funding. They said the game should be developed first, and then it can get funding if it's good, and he said otherwise the game. He's an example of why he thinks that should be how game development works. Is he brought up the day before, and I had to pause for several seconds to comprehend how stupid that was. But the idea that like you develop a game and then you get like where's the how do you develop the game and then get funding from
I did think that the way they went about the crowdfunding for that was weird. It was definitely different from other ways that games have been crowdfunded before.
It confused a lot of people because they didn't make, because usually when someone else's new game, it's like, oh, here's a teaser trailer, this is a big announcement for our new game, blah blah blah, and they call it that. But they didn't do that. They started up this studio, started spinning up the studio. They were raising money throughout the year, and then they announced this AAA Invincible project, and they had this little crowdfunding thing just for my understanding, because that's why I had to do another deep dive on it. It was mainly just for giving normal people like retail investors a chance to say that they contributed to the project, maybe help hire some devs, and it wasn't to fund the actual game itself. It was just to give people a chance to like get in on the project and support the studio that they're forming to make the game, because they already have been raising money. Like they had another similar platform that they raised money on. They raised $18 million on there, and at the bottom of the page they list some of their partners, and like they have private equity backing just like every other major game studio. So it's not like they were relying on fan funding at all. Like one of the names for their private equity backers was Skydance, who own Skydance New Media, who are doing the Rise of Hydra game. Like that's why I think there was a lot of confusion. Like people thought they were trying to crowd fund completely a AAA game, and that's why some people are calling it a scam, and that's not what they were doing at all.
The wording on that is still weird, like, oh, it's just a chance for people to give us money.
Yeah, because people are used, especially when it comes to crowdfunding, because people are used to like a kind of a more straightforward, hey, we're creating this thing, we need money to create it. This is what we're going to create if you give us the money, and here are the benefits for contributing. And it's not,
the benefits on that were just weird.
Yeah, because it's not like Kickstarter, it's not like GoFundMe.
Right.
That specific website is geared towards retail investors who are used to they don't have like hedge fund money, but this website kind of gives them an opportunity to invest in promising companies and projects. That's mainly what it was. That was geared more towards those people who are just looking to be investors and stuff, rather than your everyday average superhero fan who just heard about it and likes the idea of an Invincible game.
Right.
That's why there was that confusion. So, but from all my research, they're not relying on that campaign for funding. I mean, they put the cap at $5 million anyway. Like, so if they made any more than that, it would not go through. That, like, if they had hit 5 million, that would have been the end of it. So obviously they never had any intention of using that to fund the game itself. Right. they were just
it's just, and I think I felt like they made that pretty clear in their like initial posting, but it was still weird. It still felt like, this is your opportunity to give us some money, and what you're going to get is nothing. Oh no, you're going to get like some points that you can
they have like this whole ecosystem for Skybound, where you get a bunch of membership benefits, and you can
but the benefits seemed lame
towards is mainly. Now I didn't dig too much into the the Skydance program. My understanding is that
Yeah.
it's like you get points that you can put towards sky bound related merch, like Invincible, Walking Dead, and things like that. But which I wasn't looking at. I was just looking to get more info on the game itself, which sounds interesting. It's they didn't make it completely clear. There was some comments made by the CEO that I found later on at Gamescom about kind of what their approach was to the game. Like an interviewer asked them, what are about kind of the challenges of building a game around Invincible, and they mentioned how a common challenge with making like a Superman game would be like the issue of either you nerf him or you have to have enemies that are as strong as him. And the CEO just mentioned like, oh yeah, if only there was a race of aliens that Mark struggles to fight against, implying that the game is going to consist of fighting Viltrumites. The one thing I can clearly see is that it's going to have story. So regardless whether it's a fighting game or not, it's going to have an extensive story campaign. So I thought, but it also has like an online component. They mentioned in the initial posting, they mentioned something about a competitive mode. So my best guess is like it sounds, based on all the descriptions, like a Dragon Ball Z type of game, whereas maybe it's like a big arena fighter, but it also has like this separate story mode to it. So maybe kind of like a hybrid. Ideally it would have like kind of the open world. If they're going to go on that route, maybe have like the open world Dragon Ball Z Kakarot angle with the story, but also have a mode for people who want to fight each other in the verses. That could be interesting. I just want to have that experience of don't going through the story arcs and being in an open environment, flying around and stuff as Invincible and everything. That's mainly what I want out of it.
Yeah. I wouldn't really I don't know. I'm not enough into Dragon Ball to like really understand all their games. I understand they're all kind of fighting games in some sense, but
yeah. The essential part of it is that so like the Naruto games like that. Basically, every anime game is either copying Naruto or Dragon Ball. Naruto Shippuden is like kind of the blueprint for like the fighting game story hybrid, where you'd have like this limited RPG open world exploration, very limited, and you play through major events from the story with quick time events and like arena battles, and then you had this online mode where you fought against other people, and Dragon Ball would adopt similar stuff like that as well. That's what Sparking Zero is going to be. So a lot of anime games try to copy that and not do it well, unfortunately.
Yeah. I would rather like, I don't know, I kind of like an RPG style game for those things, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Or am I crazy?
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's the thing that annoyed me. Like, because that's why I was watching the Bleach. They released the Bleach game gameplay. There's a Bleach game coming out, and of course they made it a fighting game, and it looks cool as a fighting game. But I just feel like it's such a cop out. Like they always resort to, oh, let's make it let's make a Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi clone or a Naruto Shippuden clone, and like there are like these action anime in particular are like perfect for like a big action RPG, like a God of War or a Black Myth Wukong type of experience, and I feel like they just don't even bother. Like even Genshin Impact, like one of the I still don't know what happened to this game, but I saw one of my favorite animes was Seven Deadly Sins, and they had released a gameplay trailer where it basically made Genshin Impact, but put all the Seven Deadly Sins characters in it. So I'm like that this big open world with multiple characters and story. That I think that would better suit these anime games rather than oh, let's just make another arena fight. Like, like it's so lame.
Yeah. I would like to see, especially for Invincible, I don't want to see that as a fighting game. I mean, if they do that, then fine, whatever. But like, I don't know. I would love to see more of an action adventure style
Yeah,
game.
at least if they're going to make it have like a multiplayer co-op component, like make it a MOBA at the very least, kind of like a deadlock where it's you against you and your friends against the enemy. You know,
I would rather a fighting game in that case. I don't like MOBA. I like MOBAs like the least.
I like fighting games the least between the two.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I would rather have a co-op experience where I'm fighting the AI with the like even even like the Marvel's Avengers experience, like
yeah. That's what I would rather see for Invincible.
or Helldivers, but with superpowers, like just exploring. You have the story, then you have the exploring the worlds, and you can team up and
I think
fight.
King Greek plays this.
Yeah, my battle. I got that game. It sucks.
Oh. I
it,
remember King Greek playing a lot.
yeah, Greek. I think Casual played it too. It's basically a much shittier version of Fortnite with My Hero Academia characters
Who are in Fortnite?
who are in Fortnite. Like they have, instead of guns, they have all their powers, but it's just bad. Like it's a complete waste of an IP. Like
I don't know. I just remember seeing Greek play it a lot.
Yeah, he swore by it, but yeah, I tried to get into it because I love My Hero Academia. That game's ass, bro. Okay, I could not get into it at all. I would literally rather play Concord than the My Hero Academia game.
I mean, to be fair though, like, and I know Concord, like, I think it's unequivocal that Concord's the biggest like failure.
Oh yeah, they spent at least $100 million on this game.
Yeah,
and they reportedly only sold 25,000 copies, which translates to about $1 million.
I mean,
But
even Redfall did better than that.
way better. And even then, they had to issue refunds, so
Yeah.
they just lost. They just lost money.
But I'll say this though, like, I feel like part of the reason, and we've kind of talked about this, but I feel like part of the reason that it flopped is purely the $40 entry level fee. But if it was free to play, like it was a free to play beta,
People didn't play it. No,
and
it's
people
not.
didn't even
It's
play it then.
like I think the $40 thing was just like added issue. I think the problem that a lot of these game developers that fail don't understand, particularly the execs, is that your game has to pass the vibe check, and Concord very clearly did not pass the vibe check from that first trailer. Like
What's wild is and I didn't mean to cut you off, but like what's wild though, it would have passed the vibe check if after they showed that first trailer, it wasn't a hero shooter.
Yeah, that would have helped. Like the character designs weren't very, particularly interesting from just the first ones we saw, but they were just like, okay, we have Guardians of the Galaxy at home. But then when people saw, okay, it's not that original or interesting with the character designs, and also it's not a Guardians of the Galaxy game that we thought. It's literally just another hero shooter in a particularly dated one at that. Like they were in development 8 years on this fucking game, and this is what they have. Like, so I think it was a combination of the expectations because of the lore building up around it. Like, oh, this super mysterious and vague trailer whispers that it's like Guardians of the Galaxy inspiration, and then to the disappointment of finding out it's just a soulless hero shooter. And then on top of that, the character designs are terrible. And then you find out, oh, by the way, it's a $40 hero shooter, which is unheard of in this market. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I feel bad for it. I feel bad for them though. Like, but at the same time, I can't believe that it was in development for as long as it was, and it launched with as little as it had.
Yeah,
Like, I can't tell you how many maps there were, but it didn't feel like there were many.
I'm surprised that no one pulled the plug on it at any point in those 8 years. Like during this whole and this was definitely part of Jim Ryan's unfortunate live service legacy part, which I think is may have been the reason he ended up stepping down so abruptly. They were trying to make this big push in the live service under Jim Ryan's watch, and they ended up canceling. We ended up seeing the cancellation of the Last of Us multiplayer. They canceled the Twisted Metal, and they canceled the Spider-Man: The Great Web. And somehow Concord made it through.
I'll tell you how Concord made it through, because it's the only thing that studio is working on. So to cancel that would have probably shut down the studio.
But that begs the question: why would you buy the studio in the first place?
No, I feel that. I understand. And I think they just thought that it would. I don't think in their tunnel vision they saw this flopping the way that it did.
I did.
I thought that.
I mean, I didn't think it'd last 11 days, but this as soon as I saw the gameplay, I definitely got thank you for your support. We're returning the servers off vibes.
Yeah, but think about like Suicide Squad. Like, we look at that game and we obviously agree it was a mistake, and we think, how did they not see this coming? But like, I feel like you get tunnel vision when you're making the game, and you feel like this is going to be great. The reason why Concord makes it, but say those Spider-Man games don't, is because Insomniac was working on so many other things. It was easy to say, okay, focus your attention on these things that will make us money and get those out faster, than it was to say to the studio, all right, you've been working on this for 6 years. It's not going to work. Start over. You know what I mean?
That's what begs the question. If you're going to jump into live service, why not lean into established IP? Like, it's not like Sony never made live service. Like, I'm always hearing about people asking for more bring back some of the older multiplayer games, and I'm like, there's some, like, so I think I heard someone mention like they would much rather have a hero shooter featuring Sony characters than whatever the fuck Concord was.
I mean, we say that, but was PlayStation All-Stars that big of a hit?
It was not.
Okay. So,
but
I mean,
Concord sure shit was.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, like, they must have some kind of data where they can see something like Astro Bot is going to work, or Little Big Planet. Like, those type of games will work for working in their characters, but others maybe won't.
I think the problem is that Sony specializes in producing premium single player experiences, and that's been their brand for years now, and they just didn't have the expertise on hand to justify as big investment in the live service that they made.
And I've been waiting for somebody to bring up these games. Killzone, Resistance. I've played, I think, all of those games, and I do not understand what people miss. Like, I did not think those were good games, and I'm glad Insomniac is no longer making Resistance. Yeah. To be completely honest,
for sure,
like, they're doing way better now without it.
But I think it would be fair to say, like, they could, if they were looking
SOCOM, though,
if they were to look for some live service push, like, don't have you're acquiring new studios, but like, hey, we want to bring back Killzone, we want to bring back Resistance or SOCOM. We'll find a studio that can do it. That would make more sense than spending $100 million or more on a live service original IP.
Yeah, I think the crazy one to me is SOCOM, because being just a military shooter, there's so many ways that you can reboot that and have it work without, like, having to follow the lore. Like you just need the name of the game and to follow the similar gameplay style.
Yeah, I
That's
feel like
literally it.
a SOCOM revival would have been huge, and it just blows my mind that they would give that much money to a studio that didn't prove anything. Like that's the other problem with AAA games. Like you put these studios in a position to fail. like what was that Tales of Mana game that NetEase just dropped? The game was getting, from what I heard, it was getting really good reviews and people were excited to try it, and they shut the entire studio down before it even launched.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like we say that, but like there was a point in time that Destiny was a new franchise, you know. And granted, Bungie had proven themselves with Halo, so
Yeah,
we had
exactly.
we had a little bit of an inkling that it would be fine. But like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, but
Helldivers.
they didn't start. Even when they started Halo, they didn't start Halo with let's spend $200 million. Here you go, new studio. Here's no, like Helldivers was a sequel to a smaller, somewhat fairly successful game. They said, hey, you did a good job with Helldivers 1. Let's do a Helldivers 2, but step up the production value a little bit. Give you a little more. It wasn't like a full mass. I guarantee you, they did not give them as much as they gave Concord.
Sure, and that was actually my point. Was like we think about like these franchises though, and like, oh, why would you do that? And then we look at Helldivers. Like nobody expected that to be as massive as it was when it came out. Like I think people thought it would have its niche and it would have its audience.
Yeah. But
I don't think anybody expected it to like.
But that's
sell through
exactly
the roof.
But that's exactly why you start small, and that's why the indie and triple and double A market has had some big successes, because you have and Astro Bot, another example. Astro Bot, we'll see what the numbers are, but people are loving Astro Bot, highest rated game of the year so far, and it was made by 60 people. Like,
that's crazy. This game is so gorgeous. Like
yeah,
I can't say enough good things about it so far.
Astro Bot was not.
I adore it.
Astro Bot was not a $300 million game with a 500-person studio. They got 60 passionate people together and said, "Hey, let's make a small, fun platformer out of this tech demo character," and boom, then when you see the results, you build on it. Like Power World, a small 50-person studio. They had a cool idea, Pokemon with guns. Let's try it. They had a budget of $6.7 million to make the game,
Wild.
and they made it, and people loved it. Massive hit. Now you can build off of it, and that's how you're supposed to do it. You don't start a first-time studio like, okay, here's $200 million, make us a big franchise live service game. Like, that's not how it works.
Right.
Like, give Firewalk a much smaller budget. Tell them to make something cool, something fun, and see what they come up with. And then if it goes well, then you're like, okay, let's build on it.
I guess back to that though, I have no idea how they spent that much money to put out so little. You know what I mean?
It's the cutscenes. That's literally what it was. They
But the cutscenes sucked.
Yes,
like
that's why I'm. I was talking to Dell about this. They cut the amount of money that goes into making these cinematics and these visuals are insane, and the problem is that you can't make that the entire game. Like, you have to make sure that the game around it is really good before you worry about the visuals, because it's very, like, it may not like them, but yeah, to make those the and designs may suck, but the models are high quality. They have the very realistic facial capture. It looks like a high production value game, but that's where most of the money went. And then you're in a situation where, okay, you have a really good looking game from like a technical standpoint, but the character designs suck and there's nothing interesting about the gameplay. So what, now you're just selling people on weekly cutscenes that they don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, I that was the thing. Like, oh, you're gonna get weekly cutscenes and stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then like I think they put out like 3 or 4 of them, and they were just like boring.
Yeah,
It was
like
just them talking.
yeah,
Like,
even during the initial the initial gameplay trailer, it's like the banter they had in the diner was like, okay, like like there was like no deeper story. Like if you're gonna invest that much in cutscenes, like there should be like this big overarching interesting story, and it just wasn't. It was just, oh, they're just hanging out. Like, like
yeah, I just and if that's really what, like, that's unfortunate if that's really what it comes down to. But like, I just don't understand. Like even at its core though, like there were what, like 14 to 16 characters, and not a lot of guns, not a lot of I don't know, there couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 maps. There were only 3 game modes, and one of them was just a stripped down version of another game mode, you know.
they would have literally been better off making an anime and putting on a Crunchyroll instead of making this game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just wild to me that, like, I don't understand like any of that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I don't get it. It's weird.
The absolutely insane thing is that Concord is going to be featured in the upcoming Amazon anthology series Secret Level. It's being made by the creator of Love, Death and Robots, which if you haven't, definitely checked it out. It came on Netflix. It's just like this animated sci-fi anthology series, and I really loved it. So they're doing a version of that for Amazon, where every episode is based on a video game IP, and PlayStation is featured. They're going to have one of the episodes going to be God of War. They've got Warhammer in there. They got Space Marine 2. They've got a lot of really cool stuff, but they also have Concord, which is going to be hilarious because this comes out, I think, in December, and Concord didn't even last to see the premiere of its episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, takes the heat off of Redfall a little bit, man. I feel better about life.
Yeah. Redfall was a colossal failure, but at least it lasted more than 11 days.
Yeah. I'm trying to grab this thing.
Though one could argue it was maybe was better that they just cut bait early.
Yeah.
When it was clear that this was not working. I would say a W on the response, because they could have dragged it out.
Yeah.
And like Redfall, and did the shutdown a year later, and instead they were just like, nah, we're gonna just pull the plug here, refund, we're sorry, this didn't work. So then that leaves the elephant remaining in the room, now that this animal's dead, is what's going on with Fair Games.
I didn't even know that was a thing until you mentioned it last week. But then I did see something come up this week, that people were talking about it.
Yeah. The apparently the rumor is that Sony is internally happy about Fair Games and they're going forward with it, but that doesn't really tell us much because they were obviously internally happy about Concord too.
Yeah.
That didn't work out, and people, we haven't seen gameplay yet, but yeah, people were not fans of Fair Games trailer from what they've seen so far.
All right. I gotta address this. I'm not gonna ask again. Fucking relax. It's over. Okay? Just stop. All right, let's move on.
What the hell? What the hell is going on in the show?
I don't know. But like, relax. It's fine. We're okay. We're gonna make it. Let's just start over, reboot.
Why y'all beefing in chat? It's not
I
that
don't
deep.
know. But I'm trying to like diffuse the situation. It's not that big of a deal. I feel like if everybody just moves on, we'll be okay.
Yeah, we're all adults here. Let's
Yeah.
some of us definitely pushing senior citizens. So let's
out of respect to myself and Sadot,
yeah.
I would just appreciate it if we just dropped it. And thank you.
Yeah. He's mentally Canadian. It's different.
I don't know if he's free. Do we want to talk to him? I want to make fun of him a little bit.
Why would you want to make fun of our good friend Hyrule?
Dude, he beat Star Wars Outlaws last night. Did you know he had 3 health bars? He did like nothing. He was still wearing the standard outfit. He did nothing extra to make his character better.
He did no side contact. What a loser.
Like I don't understand how you like he didn't even unlock like all the gun perks. He didn't even use the ultimate ability, which would have gotten out of so many situations if he just mashed the 2 thumbsticks in and tagged 5 people and auto killed them. Like like why? Like what is going on?
I kind of respect it. He's playing his Quidditch game. I actually was playing a little bit of the Quidditch game as well. It's fun. I just played the tutorial. It's kind of fun. It's a good time.
I'll drop him a link, and if he's able to jump on, cool. If not,
Yeah,
sometimes I like hearing other people's voices.
He's going to be busy for a while. You know, he unlocked Hermione, so he's he's going to be occupied.
I don't know, man. I got so much anxiety watching him play so like badly, and I'm not a backseat gamer. I'm not like a judge you guy, but like, how do you only play the story missions and not want to do anything to make your character better?
Just triggering J Shock.
It is. I'm sorry.
Was he at least playing? If he played on the highest difficulty, I respect it.
I mean, I can understand on that aspect if you're gonna like respect, but that wasn't even what he was going for. He was just going for let me like speed run this.
If he wasn't playing on the highest difficulty, then he's a failure.
I don't know, man. Because I'm like looking at it and he's like 3 health bars. I'm like, dude, I had like 9 health bars.
Yeah, Outlaws is fun. What? So far I'd say Space Marine 2 has been my favorite experience so far. I'm still getting through Astro Bot, so that might change. But did you dive into too deep into Space Marine 2?
I've played about 2 hours of it. Maybe 2.5 hours of it. I like it. There's things I think it's a really cool game. I don't understand anything that's going on.
Yeah.
Except the guy sweeping in the little space station. I want to ask for his manager, but I mean, other than that, I have no idea what's going on. I did play the first game. Like, actually, it's funny. Like 13 years ago, almost to the day, when it was September 6th. I think that's when Space Marines officially dropped, right? Well, the first one dropped 13 years before that, and I got it that day with Dead Island and Resistance 3.
Wow, that's definitely a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember playing it. I like it. Like, it's cool. I'm enjoying it. I don't love some of the health systems. But otherwise it's like I don't know if you ever like followed UFC at all. But like there's this very famous they had their like reality TV show that was like Big Brother. But it was like The Fighter or something like that. And they would have 2 UFC fighters draft a team, and whoever won the show got a UFC contract.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of those seasons.
Yeah, so Chael Sonnen did a season with Wanderlei Silva, and they fucking hated each other. And there was this big fight, and I always think of this, because like Wanderlei is like getting close to him and everything, and like and Shale-san just looks at him and says, "I can't let you get close to me." And like I always think of that, and that's what I think of when I'm playing Space Marines, and what I thought when I played Doom. Like I don't love that style where you have to like do certain types of damage to get your health back. I understand there's a health pack and everything, but it's like I don't want to let you get close to me. I want to shoot you before you get there. You know what I mean? And that's the only stress point for me. But otherwise, it's really cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed the combat once I figured out like how the pool went. The only thing I thought was that, and this doesn't become much of an issue when you play the multiplayer, but I thought the med kits could have dropped at a little bit of a higher rate. But once I adjusted to the game and realized and I kind of got used to how it works, you know, you're trying to preserve your armor and utilizing your parry and dodge and your ranged. I had a good time with it, especially picks up once you get some of these new weapons and abilities. It gets really fun. The missions where you play with the jetpack are by far the best in the campaign.
Oh, cool.
They're absolutely unbelievable. So,
I don't know how much further I'm gonna get. I will say I would like to play the game with people. I bet that would make it a million times better.
It's definitely a better co-op game for sure.
Yeah. It's been fine so far.
Speaking of hard.
What an entrance.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a good timing because you've been playing Outlaws and Space Marine
and Quidditch World Cup.
I'm playing everything. Yeah. You guys talking about Space Marines?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just talk about Jay's skill issue with Space Marine too.
It might be the best game where I have no idea what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
People were trying to explain like chaos gods and machine gods. And I'm like, dude, I need like an encyclopedia. All I know is I'm just ripping things apart. Like I have no idea what's happening.
The lore is pretty deep. I only know a little bit about it because I used to argue with nerds online about who would win in the fight, and they would like bring up like Warhammer stuff. So I'd learn a little bit about God, Emperor, Mankind, and Chaos Gods and the Primarchs, and I'm like, okay, this sounds like a lot's going on. I'm not finna read these giant ass encyclopedias about this shit. I don't care. The last thing I heard was something about they're mad. The fans are mad because they have women now or something. I was like, I don't give a fuck about.
Oh yeah, apparently I guess in the new stuff or some shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. It's
they're like woke. I'm
True,
like,
man.
bro, I don't give a fuck. Like
those pesky women, man.
I saw the gameplay. I'm like, oh, cool. A co-op game where you rip things apart and shoot them in the face. Looks fun. Okay.
Apparently, too, the co-op is like one of the best parts of the game. I've been playing a lot of the PvP, but apparently the operations are like super good.
Oh, they're fantastic. I haven't even touched PvP yet.
PvP is almost like I said this on Twitter, but it's almost like what I imagine what people felt like when they first played Gears of War. It's a little slower than Gears of War, obviously, because you're not bouncing between the walls, but it's so good. And then to the PvE part, I've seen people say like this is what they wish like Helldivers was like, and just say that like it's such a like fun experience. So I haven't actually spent time with it yet, so yeah. I'm excited to get in.
Yeah, that's a great. I was even bringing up that while I was playing the campaign. I was like, I feel like this is what Helldivers players wanted Helldivers to be, and now I'm like less inclined to go back to Helldivers because it's just a much better version of Helldivers for me. Because the way Helldivers set up is like it has no story whatsoever. It's just pure lore, and then you just drop on these planets and you do these simple missions, and then there are side objectives around there, and then you extract and dip. Whereas Space Marines has this whole campaign, and then the operations themselves, instead of making it like a typical multiplayer, you go to this point and they're basically mini campaign missions. but they're structured around multiplayer. So they have they're long. They have like multiple stages. Some of them have actual boss fights. They're full story missions like that would fit alongside the campaign. They're just designed around having a multiplayer system, and they have the classes, which makes it much better than in the campaign because now you have the class system, the leveling up. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it seems like it's just a really well made game. I think to your point, you were saying something about like the AA space or whatever. And when you look at like what Focus Entertainment has done, like this is their biggest launch, right? Like this
it's a massive hit so far.
far. Yeah,
It's a massive hit so far.
Saber, right?
It's Saber's the Entertainment's the publisher. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Focus is the developer. And then, but if you look at like the games they've made before, like it's like very much so like small scale like games. This is by far like, I mean, I hate to say this puts them on the map because if you look at their games, you're like, oh, they made this, but like you know, you kind of look at the quality of this versus like the quality of their other games, and you're like, holy shit, guys, you know. So
hey, World War Z was great, damn it.
hey, listen, I liked World War Z. Not a lot of people did. So.
it's still getting supported.
Which is insane to think about. Like we always talk about like live service and like how these games like die off, and then you look at like a game like World War Z, which is like has had one big expansion, a couple of other content updates. Like there's games out there that do it really well. It's just a matter of like finding them, you know. And to World War Z's credit, there's got to be people still playing it, you know. Otherwise, what the fuck is the point, you know?
Because it's great. That's why.
Remember, you said it, not me.
the only World War Z is a masterpiece. The only thing that, and the reason why I like Space, I look at Space Marine as an evolution of World War Z is because it's using the same Swarm engine.
Yep.
It's similar structure, but the big difference is that the way I set it apart is that World War Z, I guess maybe partially because of the constraints of the topic, it doesn't really have much story to it. Like you're like every level is interesting and big and expansive, but you're just getting a cast of characters. You're in the zombie apocalypse. You have to survive, get from this point to this point, or do this thing, and that's it. Whereas Space Marine 2 has like full campaign mode, and it's got like all this lore and stuff just all over, and I think that's really what sets up. And then of course they really stepped up the production value. The combat's great.
It's interesting because I didn't think of it this way, but if you look at it, like World War Z is the blueprint, right? Like if you look at the way the games are set up, yeah, it's interesting. So there you go. Sadot's saying if you guys like Space Marine, go buy World War Z, you'll like it too. There you go.
100%. Like they're literally, I was literally playing one of the operations in Space Marine 2, and there was one part where we were on a bridge, we had to hold it, and all of a sudden we see like just giant wall of aliens just running towards us, like hundreds of them.
Yep.
And they rush towards us and they start climbing on top of each other. It's literally World War Z.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it literally looked exactly like a mission out of World War Z.
It's funny that you say that because I didn't know that that's who made World War Z, and there are parts of the story I've played so far where you just see, I saw like just millions of these things coming towards you. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to kill all these things? But it's partially for show. But yeah.
But you still have to kill a fuckload of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like I said, I played the first game. I don't think I have it anymore. I think I sold it many years ago. But I remember even back then, I was like, man, this is kind of like Gears of War, and it still is.
Yeah, it's definitely that's kind of where I felt like the game was playing a lot, was like Gears of War. So I never really played Gears of War. I think I played Gears 5 a little bit. So this is kind of like scratching an itch that I didn't know I had, to be honest.
Yeah, I was never a big Gears guy either.
Yeah, I never played Gears.
I mean, I think I've played all of them, but like not like seriously.
Well, the nerds approve of the lore. They're probably, The only disappointing thing is that I wish the game was as woke as I memed that it was, so I could see them get triggered. Because apparently there was a whole thing. So because I assume Space Marine 2 wasn't involved in the culture war, but of course that was a mistake. I just chose to not look into it. But so apparently what happened was some of the usual weirdos found out that one of the writers on Space Marine 2 was trans or something. So they immediately, of course, said started a targeted harassment campaign and started saying, "Oh, boycott Space Marine 2. It's woke. It's going to be a woke failure, woke disaster." And then Space Marine 2 in early access debuts of like 100,000 concurrents on Steam, and they're like, it's not woke. It's a win for it's a take that woke mob." It's like no. You don't get to change it now.
Don't make me choose between these two. Okay, I can't tell you to get one or the other, because get both. Get them both.
Get both. If you can only get one, get Astro Bot.
But I don't want to say that because I
don't. Jay's not saying that. I'm saying that.
I want people to buy Funko Fusion because I love all the people that make the game. It's a personal thing. I want to see the game do well. I'm going to be completely honest.
Buy Astro Bot and watch Jay Shotglass play Funko Fusion.
Actually,
I can kind of get behind that. I'm not going to lie.
Question for you about the Funko Fusion stuff. You guys mind if we divert topics really quick? Because I had some people talk to me this week, and because they were kind of questioning the roadmap of it. I don't know if you can lend insights to like their delayed online co-op release, right? How there's scattering it throughout the rest of the year. My understanding was that it probably is just like a small studio, and like they have to,
3-year-old studio.
So they have to kind of like stagger releases in order to kind of dedicate the resources. I don't know if you had any more insight into kind of like any of that situation.
Give us the TJ.
Well, I mean, I don't know like specifically, but I would say I have to imagine that the option was delay the game or put the game out and add the co-op in
separate
a month or two later. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking. There is an actual roadmap for that.
Roadmap?
But I can't. Yeah, roadmap. I can't find the file for it. I had the file.
Didn't Concord also have a roadmap?
That is fair.
Here, I got you on the link here. Hold on. I'm gonna DM it to you on Twitter.
Okay.
That Concord roadmap. I missed the Concord talk, but it's tough, man. Tough.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. Okay, I would just rather the game come out.
What's the Space Wolf?
Because there's going to be so much to do. There's like it's pretty deep, all right, and I feel like
How deep, Jay?
Hold on 1 second. Let's present
like
this.
A puddle, a river.
Well, I can tell you that I've played
a dark corridor.
Yeah, so here's what we're getting. The game comes out this week on the 13th, right? So here you go. You got the game comes out, 20 plus franchises, 60 plus characters, and then literally a month later, you get the first 4 online co-op worlds, and then the next month you get 3 more. Actually, it looks like a couple more. Yeah. So like, look, you're getting everything in the package.
That's Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they got a lot of really cool stuff. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World,
Invincible, Umbrella Academy.
Battlestar Galactica is the one that kind of catches my eye. You never see anything talk about that anymore. Yeah. It's like a dead franchise.
I've played the there is Five Nights at Freddy. Yes. I actually played as Freddy Fazbear. The Thing level was actually pretty sick. You can actually play the Thing level right now on Steam if you have PC. And in that level, you can find Mega Man, He-Man, and Freddy Fazbear. And you can actually play as them in that level. It's all right. So here's what happened. Okay. TT Games is the company that makes all the Lego games. And a lot of the people there left the company and started their own brand new studio, 1010 Games. They're an independent studio, and they are in 3 years have put this out. You know what I mean? It
Very nice.
feels really good. It looks really good. I think it's a little raw in some areas. It's not quite as polished as the Lego games are. It's not like a shot for shot remake of the Lego games either. I'll tell you this though. It's actually really a third person shooter. Like that's what the game actually is, because everybody's shooting guns, and
Even Invincible.
I haven't played as Invincible, but maybe. I'll tell you, He-Man shoots things out of his sword. You can melee with it too, but like he does shoot as well.
Is it Lego Suicide Squad?
I was gonna say, did I learn nothing from Rocksteady here?
No, I promise you that it's not like there are other weapons that you can pick up and stuff.
Okay.
Like
to be fair, I've not seen any gameplay.
Yeah, like you can pick up Mega Man's little blaster thing.
Oh, I love that.
So like, yeah, it's really cool.
And
I think
don't they have a key mailer campaign?
They do, yeah. So good
yeah,
luck.
I applied for that.
Yeah, I already know that you probably won't hear anything until day before at the earliest. Because I feel like I like have talked to them directly, and I know that I'm probably not getting my code until like the day before. So
I thought they would have gave you like a week head start and a collector's edition.
I was hoping so. They are sending me a package, so that's cool.
Okay.
Oh, Jay got to get the package.
Yeah, there's like a chase version of He-Man, and I don't want to spend $50 for it. I also didn't want to ask for it, but I insinuated that I would accept it if they sent it my way. So I'm hoping that's what I'm getting.
But is this true? Is it going to be on PlayStation? Is Suicide Squad coming to PlayStation Plus finally?
That's the extra though. That's not like the free one.
That's like the second tier of
Right.
which I mean, if you don't have that tier, what are you doing? So,
I don't think I have that tier.
I have premium. I have the highest one because I'm a true pony.
Yeah.
I had to ask that today because I stay out of the console war stuff. So I had to ask my chat this week. I was like, guys, what does pony mean? And they had to explain it to me. I felt really stupid because like I try to stay away from that. And then just asking that question made me feel really dumb. And then the answer I got also made me feel really dumb. So
I mean, to be fair, the whole console war is dumb.
Yeah, man, I don't get it, man. But like Sadot says that, but then like he sneak disses like often.
Because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly harassed by Xbox, so I feel like it's fair.
Yeah, it's weird though, because like I feel like because you're so close and like you wear blue so much and you have the shield and you're a defender and you sing Genuine quite often. Am I getting that wrong?
Yeah,
You
you
did
are.
Pony. He did Pony, right?
Yeah, he did pony.
Okay. Like I feel like you just don't see that it's just as bad on that side.
We got Witty in the building. Shout out to Witty fans. Thank you for your condolences.
But yeah, no, we
gotta get Witty on the podcast at some point.
Yeah.
He's always working.
I follow him. I think I follow him because you said we want to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would do. Glad Jay followed up with it.
Yeah. I don't remember what we were talking about. Oh, we're talking about Funko Fusion.
You're shilling for Funko Fusion.
Yes. I listen, man. I want to see the game do well, but I'm not going to sit here and say, "Hey, don't get Astro Bot," because it's phenomenal. It is a joy.
It is a joy.
But I really do hope people give Funko Fusion a chance because I'm going to make tons of videos.
I'm definitely intrigued. I mean, the IPs they have are very interesting to me. I mean, particularly Invincible and Scott Pilgrim.
It's all about He-Man for me. I'm like so excited. But yeah, the TT Games employees started. Arthur Parsons was literally a legend in Lego gaming, and he's the head of the studio. I would like Arthur Parsons could make I don't know what's something I hate. For like I don't know.
Helldivers 3.
He can make
Squirrel
Helldivers
Girl.
3, and I would play the crap out of it.
What
I
are you talking about? He loves Squirrel Girl. That's his favorite.
Yeah, he can make a Squirrel Girl game. I mean, he's probably responsible for Squirrel Girl being in every Lego Marvel game. So yeah, it's funny. I Darkhawk is one of my favorite characters. Shut up.
I didn't say that.
I knew you were going to.
You said it. You said it right that time.
All right. He's one of my favorite comic book characters, and he had never been in a Lego game, and it was always a thing that I would make. Oh, my most wanted characters for this game. So like before they announced Darkhawk in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, I actually sent him an action figure in the mail. and with my little I had like this little card that they made me for PAX East, and I just I signed it and said please. And then Darkhawk was in the game, and I told everybody that I voiced him because he did not have a voice actor.
That checks out.
So I'm not giving anybody a code for Fun Confusion. Shut the fuck up and buy it. That's my pitch.
Also, because he doesn't have an extra one.
Yeah, I don't even have a code for myself yet. So
yeah.
But yeah, I was very happy with what I got to play. I think it feels real good. It's actually harder than I thought it would be. It like you think that it's just going to be another Lego game, another kid style game, and it's not. It's actually pretty tough. And you got to like really think a lot of these puzzles out.
Probably a skill issue.
It could be.
But speaking of play, what do you guys think of the state of play? It's the rumors are heating up. Sony officially teased the PlayStation 5 Pro in their 30th anniversary. They gave us a little picture of it in the back of their image. We just heard recently one report that the announcement of the PS5 Pro, the official reveal, is going to be this coming week, and the state of play is going to be separately, like towards the end of the month. Usually, I've heard 19th or the 20th. Grubb said last week of September. So around that time, we're supposed to be getting the new state of play. And I'm curious, High Ruler, since you play everything and love to curse live service games in particular, what are you getting? Are you in the market for a PS5 Pro, and what are you looking forward to seeing at the state of play?
I'm actually not. I'm actually in the market to buy a new handheld next year. I find that like
too?
No, the new ROG Ally one. I don't give a fuck about Switch 2 either. I find that like a mid-gen refresh right now just doesn't. I mean, it makes sense because they want money. I just think from like our point of view, like, do you guys have like a justifiable reason to buy a PS5 Pro? Like, I look at it and I don't have the justification in my head for 700, 800 Canadian dollars to be like, okay, I'm gonna buy one, right? So for me, it's just not there. State of play. I mean, if they're gonna do a mid-gen refresh, they probably want a game to go alongside it. So like Ghost of Tsushima 2, maybe. Like, I feel like that's the only game you can kind of roll out and be like, hey, buy, this game. It's gonna have some sort of bullshit improvement on the PS5 Pro, but for me, just get it out there so I can play it. I mean, I'd kind of like to see the Spider-Man 2 DLC. I kind of shit on them, but I think I'm kind of at the point where I'm itching for more Spider-Man. So, give me that, to be honest.
It's honestly so much cope when I see comments like, oh man, I for it's too late now. I don't even want them to release the DLC because it's too late now. I don't want it. Shut the fuck up.
You know what's gonna suck? I have not played that game in a while, and they're gonna put out this DLC, and I'm sure it's gonna be like riding a bike, but like I'm gonna come back in playing that thing, and I'm gonna be so much worse than Sadot makes it out that I am normally.
I'm gonna be 100% accurate.
Yeah. So I'm not looking forward to that. But
well, fortunately for me, I planned ahead. So I didn't finish my New Game Plus playthrough. I'm currently at the Venom mission.
I didn't
So
start mine, so
yeah, so as soon as they announce DLC, I can just boot up a stream, play some Spider-Man 2, finish the New Game Plus, and then take that momentum right into the DLC.
what I always love about my Spider-Man 2 experience, even though I didn't love doing it, yeah, this is actually facts. Like these people will cry about the littlest thing, and it like blows me away. But I loved my experience of like driving down to the Bronx and like finding that shop that was like breaking street date and like having it like 3 days early and like just being in New York City where, I mean, granted, Spider-Man's Brooklyn, not Bronx, right?
It's all. I mean,
Spider-Man's Queens,
Queens,
Brooklyn's
you're right.
Cap.
Peter's Queens.
Brooklyn's great. Who's Bronx?
Miles is at Brooklyn Visions,
Okay.
representing.
In any event, like being somewhere where you would expect to see Spider-Man with the game in hand a few days early, like that was really cool.
Yeah,
The drive sucked though because I was alone. That's
I
traffic, it's like 4 hours each way.
I enjoyed the experience of just getting a bunch of free Spider-Man 2 stuff from Sony and watching people cope and seethe about it on Twitter.
Here's my thing about PS5 Pro, because I'm gonna like the second it goes on sale at Best Buy, I'm just gonna pre-order it. Okay. But like the thing that I'm like moderately worried about, maybe not really totally. I just want to know if my freaking side plates are gonna like transfer.
Go over, yeah.
Yeah,
I also separately want to know about the storage for the SSD.
Oh yeah, that too.
If they made it easier to install extra space on there.
I doubt that. I bet it's the exact same setup, just a little bit of internals that are upgraded.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But like they've got that little like thing that goes along the side.
Yeah, I just hope it's more convenient.
Trust me, that's what. Say what you will about the Xbox, but like the Xbox extra storage, granted, way more expensive. But like it's just a card. You slide it in, and you're good.
Yeah.
I wish they made it so that it was like more accessible price wise. Like you can just go get a common, memory stick that goes for PC. But I mean, I've got this little 2 terabyte card. I just plug it right in the back. No surgery necessary.
Yeah, literally, I had to perform surgery on my PS5.
Yeah,
the 2 terabytes was worth it, but it was a fucking pain in the ass to install it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'll just be able to take the one out of this one and put it in the new one.
Yeah,
and then immediately sell my PS5.
Yeah, that's probably as long as I can transfer my plates, because I think I've heard the Pro comes with 2 terabytes of storage.
Oh, nice. That'd be
nice.
Pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be. I just want to have the best of everything. I'm
right.
I'm the sucker that keeps these things happening. So.
Jay is the target audience.
Exactly. So if you tell me there's a better PlayStation 5, I'm gonna get that PlayStation 5.
Yeah, right.
I had the Star Wars PS4, and then they put out the PS4 Pro, and I'm like, let's get it. Selling for V-Bucks, absolutely, Warden.
I'm only getting it because I'm a pony, but
no, but like
right?
Yeah.
I while I do prefer Xbox, I still love my PlayStation.
Yeah.
I just would, if I had a choice of what a game would be on, I would just pick Xbox because I like the controller more. And
I'm just trying to see if I get my Sony contact to send me a Pro. I'll try to get it on it.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. That'd be nice. But I definitely. I'm really interested about the third party offerings. I've heard some rumblings. I've heard there's some Marvel Rivals happenings this month from the usual suspects. I've heard there's a big the guy who said that the state of play is happening on the 19th or 20th is teasing some big world premiere that he said might either be at the state of play or the Game Awards, which tells me it's a third party world premiere, because first party one would almost certainly be at a PlayStation event, and he's been dropping teases of it in his Discord. And based on the clues so far, I'm pretty sure it's Resident Evil 9, which Capcom teased earlier this year at the showcase, and I believe it's possible we get that at the state of play, but I could definitely see that getting a world premiere slot at the Game Awards, and I've heard the release date is targeting 2025 potentially.
I mean, I feel like this is absolutely going to happen, but like, if you think about it like from the PC gamer perspective, like I got a 3080, and then like a year and a half later, there was a 4080, you know,
Yeah.
like, and that's the same price as a console, if not more.
Yeah, upgrading is part of the business.
Yeah, it is what it is. I get it. And I understand consoles are typically meant to last longer, but like I feel like the PS5 Pro is just going to be an optional thing.
Yeah.
And like there's just going to be like just extra perks and benefits, and I just want my shit to look the best, you know what I mean? So
you literally don't. It's not like you're going to have to have a pro to play games like
right.
I feel like the PS4 to PS4 Pro is like much more of a jump than what the PS5 Pro is going to be. So like,
yeah,
I know myself, like I'm not worried about it, because like, you know, I look at my PS5 now, it does everything I need, and I think a little bit comes down to just kind of resistant FOMO, for those of us who don't want to spend the money. So I think it's just a matter of, you know, convincing yourself it's not needed, and just, you know, play the games on your PS5 like you normally would.
And to be fair, I do think the PS6 is like 2028, not when in terms of release date. I think that's more likely.
Listen, my Best Buy card is almost empty. Probably get 18 months no interest financing. Just slow pay that shit. Write it off on my taxes. Easy peasy.
Jay teach you the
That's
blueprint.
the way to do it.
Yeah.
Jay loves a good tax write-off.
I love a good tax write-off. I really do. That's just honestly what it comes down to is like, you know, I hate buying adult things, but like our dryer died like a year ago, and that's just about to get paid off before the interest. So yeah, and then I'll just have this empty Best Buy card, because you know I was thinking about this as I was looking everywhere for Astro's Playroom, okay, or Astro Bot. All right.
You would think this is a sponsor slot.
Right, exactly. But like I was thinking about this, how annoyed I was, because like I don't remember the last time I walked into a Best Buy beyond this last week that I went in to return Star Wars Outlaws, because I decided there's no way I'm playing that a second time. Like I love the game, don't get me wrong, but I am not playing that a second time. So I had bought it for PlayStation 5 with the intention of streaming it, but I'm not going to have time, and so I brought it back. And as I'm in there, and as I was looking for Astro Bot at Targets, I'm like, I used to go to Best Buy like every Tuesday, because that was when the new CDs dropped, the new video games dropped, and the new movies dropped. It's not that it's not good, Iron Smash Web. I'm not playing it a second time through. That's it. Like I'm fine with my first playthrough, and that's where I'm at. So I'm not going to spend $110 on a game I don't want to play a second time, you know? So I was shocked that like we went to 3 Targets and none of them had, like the third one finally had it, but like they didn't have it the day after it was released. And it's not that they sold out of it, they just didn't have it. Like it didn't come in. And like one of the Targets didn't even have NBA 2K out the day after it came out. And it's like, what are we doing here? How do you not have, like, when I used to walk into like Best Buy or Newbury Comics, like on new release day, like they would have all that shit out on display, and it'd be like front and center. Here's the new shit. And now, like, you walk into some of these stores and you have to like beg somebody to go look in the back to see if they possibly have it on release day.
It's the death of the physical games.
And it's not just that; it's just the death of retail.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. To speak from a Canadian perspective here a little bit. Every time I walk into a Target in the States, the video game section is all cards, like the downloadable cards now. I don't know if it is for like where you guys are at, but every time I go to like New York, I walk into a Target and I go to their electronics. I know, yeah, okay, I know what we're saying here, but like it's all like I can't get a physical game for my life. The only thing I could actually buy are like the downloadable cards, and that goes for like all 3 consoles. It's fucking insane. So
I've not walked into a GameStop in like 10 years.
Yeah, I went to like GameStop usually does have everything. So like that's why I'm not using them as an example, but I would hope so. Considering that's all they do is video games.
well,
Hyrule is actually developing this one.
Oh, Avengers 2? I'm working on it right now. So as part of my Kickstarter, not only am I going to fight with people on Twitter and go after the woke mob, I'm also developing Marvel's Avengers, and I'm taking donations, and we're doing play testing, and God, please God, no one leak that on Twitter and talk about it, because I'm the only one that can talk about video games. So
yeah. Oh, and don't worry, it's going to be in Unreal Engine 5.
Of course it is, with paid assets all the way through, baby.
Yep, and I've been told by a high ruler that Squirrel Girl will be on the base roster.
Fuck,
Of
Hyrule.
course.
He actually said it's going to be all women on the base roster. Because he's an ally.
It's true. If you guys thought Endgame was bad, just wait till you get your hands on my Avengers game.
The base roster so far is Captain Marvel, Squirrel Girl, Wanda,
Miss Marvel,
Kate Bishop,
mm-hmm.
She-Hulk.
Yep.
Gwenpool.
Gwenpool. He's taking suggestions on. I think Gwenpool's
America Chavez.
Yep. That's a pretty good roster right there. And just think of all the DLC characters we can add.
Yeah, like a Dazzler.
Yep. And we'll do a Taylor Swift skin.
Yep.
It'll be
Oh wow! It's kind of ironic that Hyrule is here because this is my.
I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that.
I just grabbed like the next cup, and I didn't even think anything of it. Like we just have all these cups we get in movie theaters, and we happen to have a Taylor Swift one. I looked over.
I'm debating swinging $3,000 for the tickets for my girlfriend and I to go. And I know. Wow. I'm actually so stupid, but I feel like if I don't get her tickets to Taylor Swift, she's gonna like. It's just not going to be a pretty thing. So
I'm glad my wife has already seen her a couple times.
$3,000?
It's insane,
dude, it's
man.
Insane.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually really like I don't go to as many people know. I used to do concert photography. I used to go to like at least 50 shows a year. But I never really had to pay for them, and if I did, they were usually like, oh, it's like $15, you know. I want to go see All That Remains. They're on tour right now with Mudvayne and Megadeth, and they're playing in Boston, I think, this week. And I'm not going to ask Phil for tickets. Like I would never, like we haven't seen each other in a long time. I'm not going to ask anybody for anything, but like I was looking at the price of tickets and it's like $110. And I'm like, I do not give a shit about Megadeth. I've already seen them a few times. I've literally rode in an elevator with Mudvayne. Like I've seen them plenty of times, and I've seen All That Remains probably like 15 times.
And you're more of a Swiftie anyway.
No, I don't want to pay that much. So, but then New England Metal and Hardcore Festival is coming up as well, and that is like a legendary show in the area. Killswitch Engage is doing their 25th anniversary show, and there's a few other bands that I haven't seen. Machine Head, one of my favorite bands of all time. So then I spent way more than $110 for VIP tickets.
Of course. So is it literally $1,500 a ticket for Taylor Swift?
Oh, sorry, no, I'm wrong. I'm looking at $2,800 a ticket. So
Jesus fucking Christ!
So yeah, because it's all the resale.
That all together. Yeah, it's all resale. So I might just buy her the ticket and be like, "You just go solo. See ya." Like.
Yeah, you can for the price of one ticket, you can get almost 2 Chris Brown meet and greets.
who is Who is it that like somebody who was
I
feuding with?
I would much rather go see Chris Brown live and then take a selfie with them backstage
Maybe it
and
wasn't
have
Chris
him
Brown.
pick me up rather than
shit.
Taylor
Does
Swift
50 Cent hate Chris
$3,000.
Brown?
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Who is it that 50 Cent like hates?
P Diddy.
Ja Rule, Kanye. He hates a lot
Everybody.
of
There's a big list there.
Oh, all right.
Floyd Mayweather.
Somebody had a concert in like Hartford or somewhere near there in the last year or two, and I'm pretty sure I thought it was Chris Brown, but maybe I'm wrong. And I think it was 50 Cent that like bought all the tickets.
Oh, that was Chris Brown, and it was for he was a member of Migos. They had beef. I don't know where it started. I just remember I saw Chris Brown was playing in the Drew League. He's actually a really good ball player, and he kept calling him out. And it was Quavo. He kept said, "Come out to the league, play," and he wouldn't come out. So Chris called him a bitch and said he was going to beat his ass. And during the Kendrick and Drake beef, Chris Brown actually dropped a diss track dissing Quavo. It was actually really good. And yeah, I think one of the things he did was he bought out just all the tickets for one of his shows so that someone would film it and see just nothing but empty seats.
Yeah. I respect that. That's a respectable move. RDC, is that like something?
RDC is a very famous comedic group.
Yeah, I remember they did some video about I think it was like them planning the next song. I think it was supposed to be like Metro Boomin and someone, I don't know who else, but like somebody was supposed to be Chris Brown, and he was like, Chris Brown? I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm in the rabbit hole. You said Quavo, and I know who that is.
I'm shocked.
That would not have happened.
Yeah. RC actually just dropped there's actually two heaters. Mighty Keith dropped his Concord video today, and RDC dropped just a general game development video, which is always a good time. I love seeing a good skit about making fun of the game industry. But the Concord stuff is fucking brutal. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, RDC is hilarious. Yeah, RDC is hilarious. So they do skits. They also have a gaming channel. They're really funny. I love their skits. They're legendary. They actually have a movie coming out. They're making a little independent movie coming out. Definitely go down that rabbit hole.
Watch their reaction videos too.
Not the Dr. Disrespect. Did you see that live stream?
I watched High Ruler watch it.
High Ruler did a real. That was unreal.
I think I nailed it pretty well.
Did you literally predict it? Like he was just gonna gaslight?
Yeah, kinda. I kinda nailed what he was gonna do before he did it. And like I think the writing's on the wall like beforehand. He let's argue the legality of it, which is fine. Like did he is he by like definition a pedophile? No. Did he do some really creepy shit with probably a 17-year-old? Yes. And I think like you get lost in the weeds arguing the legality of it. All you have to say is the dude's creepy and he did some creepy ass shit. He probably should have not come back, right? He probably should have stayed away.
I'm gonna argue it was probably creepier than what it appered, but just not. It didn't rise to the level of a crime. But it's just the fact that he's now trying to take advantage of it and trying to gaslight people into saying I didn't admit to it. Bro, there's literally a tweet.
Oh, dude. Listen, I've wanted to say this on Twitter. Here's my non-legal advice from a non-lawyer, okay? If you're ever against public allegations of you doing some creepy ass shit and your private life's on the line, your public life's on the line, your business investments are on the line, your whole life could be shattered in like moments of like a wrong mistake. Do not pretend you're baiting a journalist here, okay? Like that might be the single-handedly most dumb thing I've ever heard someone say on a live stream, and I've seen a lot of live streams. I've been watching live streams for fucking 13 years now.
That's unbelievable. Like what? Like you intentionally you set a trap for the journalist by admitting to talking to a minor inappropriate. What?
That's almost like when Drake tried to pretend that he intentionally leaked that he was a PDF file.
Yeah, that what like no that was about the secret baby.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It kind of got twisted to like, if you're secretly leaking all this stuff, why would you let this other stuff?
Yeah, yeah. Also, people pointed out how he brought up Millie Bobby Brown without Kendrick saying anything about Millie Bobby
being
Brown.
like prompted about it. Yeah, like you're self-reporting at that point.
Like, hold on, wait. We didn't say nothing about Millie Bobby Brown, but now that you mention,
Yeah,
what the fuck was that?
yeah. As far as Dr. Disrespect goes, I do think this is definitely a narcissist. I feel like I was probably more lax about the whole thing than most people, because I don't really know a ton about it, to be honest. But like, I think I've read a little bit more now that he knew this person was 17, and that still after that was creepy with the person. And I don't know, they're words, but still at the same time, like, you have to be aware of your position and who you are, and the fact that this is probably going to get out there. You know what I mean?
And also, you have a wife and kids.
Right. That's like, that's besides the point. Okay. Yeah. Like, let's just pretend that wasn't a thing. Okay. Like, this is not a good look in any possible way. I don't see the point in it. I don't like see what you have to gain from that. I will tell you though, as somebody that I would never be in this position to begin with, but as somebody that like has an audience that's younger because of all the games that have made me popular, I will be honest, I don't necessarily always understand via text. I don't like ask how old somebody is. I don't necessarily always understand who I'm dealing with. So, and I think I am a little naive in that regard. And this has kind of been a little bit of a wake up call for me in a little bit. Because like, not that I ever talk that way with anybody intentionally at all.
Just might threaten to punch them, you know.
Yeah, that's far more likely to get me on child like assault, but
well,
but like,
what a thing to say, eh? Like,
what a fucking clip! Holy shit!
All right, let's pretend that didn't happen. That was obviously a joke. All right, no out of context here.
Holy fuck!
No, like, it's tough because you don't know like who these people are, and I don't know, man. Like, yeah, exactly. All right, look, it was funny.
I think there's a couple of things. Is that like, as a streamer content creator, like, don't use your community as Tinder, right? First and foremost,
sure.
like,
yeah,
like that's strike one, right? Strike two is having, now Doc's own words was the legal definition of sexting. Now, we all come from the era that's more known as cybering or cyber sex, right? Where like, that's probably what he was dancing around, is that it wasn't like insert penis in the vagina, whatever the cybering is nowadays, but it's more so like they were having probably a sexually graphic conversation or explicit conversation, but it wasn't actual legal definition of cybering, right? Strike two right there, self-report. Strike three is then, yeah, you have a family, you have kids, you are kind of known for cheating, you've self-admitted to cheating. You're just, once again, like, that whole situation there, like, that's strike three, right? Like, and then strike four is everything to do with the tweet, deleting it, blah, 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 right? Like, it's just, there's so many things about the situation that you can get them on without having to resort to any sort of words or definitions or the rest of it. You just call it creepy. Don't interact with him. Don't engage with his content. Don't engage with his community.
Don't give him $1,000 donation on his first day.
Yeah, what the fuck is that, man?
Holy shit!
I will say, good advice. Stop talking. I will sometimes, because we're all friends here. Like, this is a joke.
Well, not high ruler.
All right, fair. I'm just, I will like, honest, for a bit, to be funny, I will usually say just about anything. And maybe again, that's where I'm naive. But Yeah.
What's
that
it
was
like to know
obviously-
that like Sadot went viral yesterday or today, and then you're gonna go viral tomorrow?
for way worse reasons?
Yeah. My viral clip, people were calling me a hero.
To some, Jay's actually going to be the new face of heroism. So
Yeah.
I'm just
Fair.
saying, like,
There's definitely going to be some overlap between Doctor.
Listen, there are some 17
and Sneakos probably too.
some 17-year-olds that could deserve a good I'm just saying.
A good.
No,
I think when you use this one, Jay, this one implies something else.
Listen, I'm very clearly just trying to be funny. I'm not like I'm not gonna fight anybody. All right,
or give them back shots as this was the
but
I'm just trying not to hit my microphone. I don't know. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, it's
get off my lawn.
It's just a really bad situation. And I think there's really not much else you can say to it. It's just did some creepy shit, and then I think to not go too far into like any sort of culture war stuff, but like anyone who says cancel culture is a thing nowadays in 2024 is like they're doing more drugs than I am. Like it's not a thing anymore, man.
It's over.
Yeah, it's done. And
that one ended. It ended. I feel like it died for sure in the gaming space with Hogwarts Legacy. But
yeah,
I think I think the greater culture war ended with the South Park episode, making fun of Kathleen Kennedy. I think that was everyone's signal that okay, if South Park's making fun of it, that the shit is cooked. It's over.
Yeah,
I think the biggest mistake is just doing it in character. Like I feel like if he wanted to get out of this, all he had to do is come out as himself.
There was no getting out of this. It's the internet.
No, I get that. No, but also, I actually do feel like there is a world where he could explain his way out of it a little bit to some people.
That was before the tweet.
No, I get that. I'm just saying if he just came out and said, like, listen, I didn't realize this. It happened. I learned from it. We're moving on. Nothing was ever going to happen. Like this, whatever. I don't know. Kept it just general. Like, I mean, listen. Like, there are people like Aiden Ross and freaking the two.
Sneeko literally. I saw a tweet. They announced that Cuties was removed from Netflix, and he said no.
Yeah, Sneeko's a weird guy. Sneeko,
very weird.
Sneeko, fuck, I don't know how much Jay knows about Sneeko, so I don't want to divert this too much. But like Sneeko's pipeline, if you watch Sneeko's very, very early videos, there was an artistic, creative side to him there, right? Like his very, very first ones, and then like over the past like 2 years, I want to say, like he's been on this weird ass pipeline where like this man is. His brain is like super broken, and like it's hard not to look at it and kind of watch because it's entertaining, but like I also feel like I'm supporting someone's like struggle through life by doing it. It's tough.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if like people like Aiden Ross and
the
Paul brothers, like, and all the, like, I know it's not the same as necessarily and we're not like gonna argue legalities or anything like that, like having inappropriate messaging with somebody that's younger, like I get that, but like they've done some stupid and awful shit, you know what I mean? And I think
that
as popular as ever.
I think Dr. Disrespect would trade Suicide Forest for this one in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think most people would. But to Jay's point though, like the last time like Guy, not Doc, appeared on stream was when he like admitted he cheated on his wife, and he was like crying on stream and whatnot. So I don't know how that would have gone because like I feel like he puts on the masks when he plays Doc, and I think that might help him deal with this situation versus like I
gotta be honest, like I can judge somebody for doing that, but I don't give a fuck about I'm like, if you cheat on your wife, that's between you and your wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so I used to be a big Doc fan, and that's how I explained it to people the other day. Is that I know, right? Is that whatever happened between him and his wife, that's their issue, right? Like
Yeah.
that's, and if he came back to stream and his wife appears on stream and they're all good, that's their business, not
Yeah.
my issue. I'm a third party to that. The moment you start involving your community in like weird shit, creepy shit,
Yeah, I get that.
yeah, so that's the way I explain it to people because people are kind of giving me shit, being like, "You used to be a Doc fan." I was like, "Yeah, but like, I'm able to change my opinion on people based on new information that
I think he was objectively extremely entertaining.
Yep.
Like I don't think it's
I was
like I
never,
feel like
I was never a fan, but I thought his production value was crazy for a stream.
yeah, and I feel like I feel like a lot of people, this part aside, um I feel like a lot of people, it's just one of those people that's easy to like bag on,
So,
because
he went full anti woke before the kid stuff.
yeah,
And yeah, I think the reason he kept the persona is because he made the decision. Like he realized, okay, well, he's not walking back from this on social media. It's just the way social media works now. So he figured, okay, well, his audience, he knew his audience was going to mostly stick with him. So his best bet was to try to basically gaslight them and just double down.
Yeah, he's got to rally the base a little bit because like he's not monetized on YouTube anymore, right? So like, what is I think he's reapplying for it at the end of the month, but there's no guarantee he's going to get it. So he's got to bring the audience back in and then figure out a new way to monetize them. Which I mean, $1,000 donation. I mean, I'm sure he'll find some sort of way to do it, but he had to kind of rally them and just be like, here's my story. Here's what I'm saying. And
I'm surprised he didn't go to Kick or Rumble.
Well, yeah, Rumble would have been the one I thought he would have gone to. But fuck, going to Rumble is like you're so far down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, Rumble. I'm not surprised he didn't go to Rumble because Rumble was fucking ass, and that's more for like full on right wing grift, and not like gaming necessarily. Like that's why I thought he would go to Kick.
Yeah, I don't know how Kick would deal with that.
I mean, I know Kick had some streamers on there that worse than Doc. I'll just say that.
Yeah, there's been quite a few, and depending on who you follow from the Kick staff, I believe Santa Maria, he's part of their product team, I think. Anyways, he's a former Twitch guy and he works now at Kick, and I think he tweeted when the Doc ban came out. He said, we won't ban Doc preemptively, but we would evaluate it if he was to stream on the platform, right? So I don't know if that would lead to conversations between Doc's team and Kick being like, maybe we want to stream there and have some back and forth. But depending on, like I said, who you watch on the Kick side and on their staff, it does seem like there's this conceited effort to kind of make the platform better because I think the platform's bleeding viewers. And I don't know if bringing Doc on board it would help in the short term, but I feel like there's such a stain on the name,
Yeah, they definitely have a branding problem.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're becoming known as the place where all the scumbags go when they're banned everywhere else.
Yeah, and I think and I feel like there's there's something inside of Kick's headquarters right now that knows that and they want to fix that. So I don't know if they would technically, be too happy if Doc was like, I'm going to stream on Kick, but who knows?
They might get overruled because as long as he can still bring in a good audience, they'll probably take that. But they definitely would be like, all right, we're gonna monitor this, make sure we don't do it again.
Well, and that's the thing too, because I don't know how far you guys go down the Kick rabbit hole here, but like there's been so many, depending on like I've watched a lot of Eddie's streams. Eddie's like the CEO of Kick, and depending on who you believe and the stories that are talking about, there's a lot of interesting situations that happen on Kick where Kick is now having to like very much so moderate their site. And I think, just it's sometimes not a great site to be on, depending, on which streamers you watch, which communities you're in, so.
Yeah. I don't use really Kick. The only time these days I interact with Kick is when I'm scrolling through YouTube and someone says, hey, look at this awful shit that happened on Kick. Show a clip, and I'm like, of some guy talking about how he loves teenage girls. And I'm just like,
Yeah, it's
holy,
bad, man.
like, what the fuck is going on with it, bro?
It's fucking it's bad. It's fucked. Yeah, that site's crazy.
That is a wow. At least your Rumble at least is just purely just for political grift. This is just Kick is just the Wild West.
It reminds me of like Justin TV before it was Twitch, like before they spun off their gaming. It reminds me of like those early like streaming sites like what was it? There was like Ustream or some other shit, like and then there was Justin TV, like it just reminds me of like the Wild West of the internet where like fucking anything went, and you're just like you're just along for the ride at that point.
I remember the live leak days.
Oh fuck, man!
Holy fuck!
I feel like I used to watch a lot of the terrible shit that you'd see, right?
Yeah.
I look at a lot of like combat footage now, and I feel like my brain was shaped by like those live leak videos because like now I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna watch like combat footage of like all these wars, and like my brain doesn't register any of it. I feel like early internet broke me in like so many ways. It's disgusting.
Yeah, because I work for like a bro news entertainment site, so I had to spend a lot of time on like live leak and all this other shit. Looking for stories like it ruined my brain.
Bad, yeah, it's brutal.
Because completely desensitized me.
Yep.
From any visual violence.
Yep, that's basically me now. It's like nothing bothers me, and I just like watch it, and like it's brutal.
Yeah, the only thing that bothers me is your feet. That's the only thing.
Honestly, they're pretty bad right now. They're like cracked and whatnot. I gotta start creaming them up, and
you gotta take care of it. That's your side income right there. You got
honestly, yeah. Like I feel like I gotta treat them better because let me tell you, I gotta make the most money I can. So I gotta, I'm gonna start making content where I get like a 4K camera and I just like rub cream all over them. I feel like that should make some money. So
I mean, there's definitely an audience.
Oh, of course there is.
I don't know why, but it's definitely I was watching a short, and this guy was his girlfriend was like buying like he bought a MacBook Pro, got him a PS. Like she's making all this money, and he found out it's because she was selling feet pics, and the guy I was doing the stream, he was like okay with that? He's like, yeah, man. I mean, she doesn't show her face. I mean, I get cool shit, and I honestly fucking based, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, like. For depending on like what you do on the internet, like selling feed pics is like the least harm that you could do. It's
like the lowest possible tier of sex work.
Yep, and it makes somewhat of the most, right? Like, I was watching a short. It's funny you say that because I was watching a short, and this girl was like, either you find your kink or your kink finds you. And I think about all those feet people. I'm like, how did you find that? Like, did you see someone's foot one day and be like, that's for me, or I just wonder about it.
It was probably a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah, probably.
It was probably the same for like people who watch hentai. Like there was probably a moment. Usually, it's probably The Incredibles where they're like, "Yep, I found it."
The brain just something in that brain chemistry just clicks right there, and they're like, "Yep, that's me." Yep.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. You're just watching something, probably Disney, and something just hits. Yep. So it's like, yep, I found these are my people. I found my people.
Jesus.
The feet thing is crazy. I don't understand it, but I respect the money. Like even my wife had a side hustle. If I had a wife and she was like, for a side hustle, I think I'm gonna sell some feet pics. I'm like, go for it, bro.
Yeah, for real though, right?
Like literally, what's the harm? Like there are girls who are just all over OF showing everything, like getting ran through by 8 guys at once, and they're getting like $500 a month, and you got people making like 6 figures a year selling feet pics. Like, get your money, get your money.
For real. I just can't wait for the new house. Like
I saw something pop up on my feed about the like CEO of OnlyFans. Apparently, like paid himself over $200 million or something this year.
Holy
Jesus.
fuck.
Like they are just raking in money.
So much simping. Holy.
Well, it's kind of funny. I feel like a lot of like porn stars are just going there now because it's like cutting out the middleman.
Yeah,
literally,
pretty much.
Yeah, because the industry is extremely exploitive and has a lot of dark shit. Whereas if they have like kind of an established name, like Mia Khalifa did this, she said, "Oh, I'm done with the industry," because the industry was horrible. But then she just set them an OF. It's like if you have like an established audience, why would you not just do it? Because you can control everything. You're controlling your own money. You can set up your own scenes. You can do a lot less and still make a ton. Like it.
I feel like it was way more than 200 million. I was like shocked at how much.
I'm not surprised at all. The thing about OnlyFans is most of the girls on there don't make a lot of money, but the ones that do make a fuckload of money.
I look at it. I look at like streaming sometimes, where like I always call streaming like the arms race, where it used to be shitty webcam, shitty mic, shitty quality, right? Then it's better quality, better mic, better webcam. Now it's the best mic, the green screen, the mixer, the rest of it. I look at like OnlyFans and that sort of content creation the same way, where it used to be like bra and panties, then boobs, and then the rest of it, right? Then as you said, you're seeing a girl get ran through by 8 guys, right? Like, but like if you are able to maximize that and make a lot of money, like you're making quite a bit of money. So
especially if you don't have to actually do any scenes, like if you could just literally get away with just showing stuff that you would probably mostly show on Instagram, except maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Owner has made $1 billion in dividends.
Holy shit.
That's a lot. That's just in dividends. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's 2 days ago.
$1 billion in dividends.
I'm in the wrong business. I'm just in the wrong line of work. This is insane.
Oh, here it is. I can only see the first paragraph, but OnlyFans paid owner Leonid Radvinsky $472 million in dividends last fiscal year, bringing his takings from the site to more than $1 billion in 3 years. That's how much money that site is making.
All from simping.
Yeah, that's
insane.
Wild.
I mean, more power. I think the move. I was like weighing this, like, because at first I thought it was a joke, but then when I see these figures, I start thinking about maybe I should actually do this. But like I know there's like a growing I guess the next part of the arms race is AI models. Like we're already seeing this. Obviously, you have the AI girlfriend chat sites, but they have like AI musicians, AI Instagram models, AI OnlyFans, and like, why if you're just a guy, you're looking for a side hustle, and you have the tools, and you know how to do it. I mean, why not just generate some pics of a unique looking girl and just create a social profile and just rake in the money?
There's also, please don't ask me how I know this. I don't want to answer any clarifying questions, but there's also a growing sector of the VTuber community who is now taking their models and making them not safe for work. And then you'll find separate VTuber Twitter accounts, social accounts that are now promoting that kind of work for their VTuber avatars. It's kind of insane. Like,
explain yourself.
How do you know this?
I really, please don't ask.
Where did you find this?
Listen, Twitter can be a really dark place, and you click one profile to the next tweet, and before you know it, you're down a rabbit hole that you can't really explain, but you're trying your best to, and that's really what it comes down to.
That's actually a good answer, because
High Roller clicked the nudes in my profile.
That's why they said what happened.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
the Twitter algorithm is actually so fucked, especially
Yeah.
especially in a trending tab. There's no filtering. Like it's just all over the place.
Yeah.
Like you see Wonder Woman trending one day, and I learned this the hard way. If you see a female character trending, don't click on the trend.
Yeah.
Don't click on it if you're not prepared.
I always feel bad. Like I tell my girlfriend was sitting here and she had my Twitter open. I was like, I'm so sorry for whatever you're about to see because I literally can't predict. And I tell her and I said I can't open Twitter on stream anymore because I don't know what I'm gonna open. I can't open Twitter in public because I don't know what I'm gonna open.
Okay.
Best case scenario is a crypto scam.
There was somebody that I
case.
followed before I knew how to like turn off retweets. That they would retweet porn all the time, and I haven't
over the age of 55.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But like I was in line at like CVS or something one day, and like I was scrolling, and like just my whole phone screen was like porn, and I have never panicked more in my life than like trying to get that shit off my screen. I don't know. I don't remember
You gotta
anymore.
have the fast reflexes, Jay.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
You gotta look like you're about to have a heart attack. Like, oh,
Yeah,
put the nose in your chest. Like, oh, no.
yeah. I don't remember if I don't remember who it was, so I might have just unfollowed them on the spot. But
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, don't tweet porn.
Or just have separate accounts for it. You know.
Yeah, I can't even handle multiple Twitter accounts.
Yeah, like bookmark it like a normal person. like why are you retweeting? Like you can't be.
I can't imagine retweeting it. Like I want all my followers to watch this with me at the same time. Like what?
Like I know a guy who like follows like every specific OnlyFans model type of girls that are black and have big butts, and I noticed because he fucking retweets them and quote tweets them sometimes. And I'm like, bro, that's nasty work.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
Honestly, though, I want someone to retweet my shit like those people retweet OnlyFans models tweets. Like, imagine the dedication. I need someone like that. Like, oh,
I just want somebody to retweet my goddamn sponsored tweets. Like, motherfuckers.
Actually, speaking of that,
you did that. I appreciate it.
Well, I was actually going to ask because you were playing Super Moves, right? Do you want to talk about that really quick? You know, might as well.
Spawn.
Hashtag sponsored. Hashtag ad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool game. It's $15, cheap. You can make your own little worlds. I mean, I'm bad at it. I think if you like with the controller support felt a little off, but I bet if your mouse and keyboard, like it would be so much better. And I just am not.
You're really not selling this, Jay.
No, I mean it's a $15 parkour racing game where you can race against other people, and it like you can make your own maps. I think that's pretty cool. I love the concept. I told them when they like approached me, I said, this sounds like something I'm going to be very bad at. Literally in my first response email, you know. But hey, man, I would $15. I've spent $15 on worse. Like every day.
I know how really spends worse monthly.
Yeah, I think it's a cool concept.
Hold on, I'll show you. Hold on. Oh, you can't see it, but I'll give you guys a guess. It's a Ubisoft Quad A game.
I mean, as soon as I saw, I thought it was a wheel, but I was like, is that Skull and Bones?
Is that a butthole?
So I took my Concord refund money and I figured, why not invest again into another live service game that is not doing so hot? And I picked Skull and Bones.
It's doing, to be fair, it's doing better than Suicide Squad and Concord combined.
You know, so maybe I'm going up in the world. Why
wouldn't you just get a month of Ubisoft Plus?
And
did you use creator code JShockBlast?
I bought it on Steam, so there was no because it was on sale on Steam for 60% off. So I got it for like $33.
All right, I'll allow it.
Thanks, man. I mean,
Thank you, Warden Joker. I appreciate it.
I don't think I've actually played. They sent me the game. I don't think I've actually played it outside of the beta.
So I played it. It had a free weekend back in November, I think. And I tried it, and I decided it wasn't a full price game. I said I can't play this for full price. This is not. I don't see it as a full price game. At 60% off, I could see myself making that investment. So I bought it. It's a game that I play in bed. It's a game that I'm literally gonna lay in bed and play, and just kind of slow burn it because I feel like that's kind of what they want you to do. I look at some of the stuff people do, and I'm like, you're just doing way too much with it. So I will report back what I think.
I'm gonna do Astro Bot instead.
That's probably a better choice.
Back to the point I was trying to make though. Like, here's the thing that like, it is what it is. Okay, like I don't want to like sound ungrateful. Okay,
Sound
but
ungrateful.
like, yeah, but like I just wish that like, and take me out of the equation. Okay, I try to do this. If I see like Sadot has something sponsored, and I can help engage with it, I'm gonna do it. I literally did the same thing for you, High Roller. I made
true.
sure that I was there with you, like to play Concord while you were at Fan Expo.
Memories.
You know? Yeah, exactly. I just feel like if you appreciate a content creator in any capacity, and you see that if you can like, retweet, just leave a quick comment on their sponsored content, you have no idea how much that means and helps them. Okay, because I've made this point, like I do not want your money, I want their money. Okay, they're gonna pay me to do something to try to help them get the word out on a game. Okay, I promise you I'm always going to be like honest about how I feel, and I'm obviously going to say this is sponsored. And I feel like as fans, like if you see somebody that you like and respect is doing something like that, you should make sure that you engage with that content specifically. I'm not saying you got to watch it and buy it, like you got to watch it like deeply or anything, but if you could just leave a quick comment, a casual generic comment, hit the like button, hit the retweet, it costs you nothing at all,
Just
and
and it also costs you nothing to download Water Warships Legends, the free to play.
But that's what
now
I'm saying.
if 50 of you download this,
and I feel like I do that for people, and I do that without being asked in most cases, right? And I try my best to, if it's something that's important. And I don't like to ask people to do it. Like we literally have a DM where we can do exactly that. And I didn't drop it there. I would rather people appreciate it. But like I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset that it was like, oh, I have 10 likes, and it's like, man, the algorithm would have really appreciated it. Maybe not many people would have seen what you retweeted in your feed, but it would have looked better for me as somebody that's trying to do business with a company, and that's like I also feel like YouTube, if it says sponsored in the anywhere in the video, like they just tank it, like especially for me, so that video fell extremely flat, which in the end of the day, like I feel bad about, because like I do feel like I want to carry. I was like this is my frustration with YouTube. I was hoping, with having 336,000 subscribers, that it would get offered to 1% of them.
I consistently turn down Raid Shadow Legends every time they ask.
Yeah, I've never taken it either.
just on principle. What's up, Sergio? Yeah, I found that from in my experience, my integrations I prefer to do sponsor integrations, like a 60-second 30 integration in the middle of a video, rather than doing a dedicated sponsor video, unless it's something I think would do well, or it's just like a crazy amount, like a Whirlwind's Meat. From NetEase, I thought, oh, that's a fun game. Looks like all the Ghost of Tsushima vibes. Yeah, so they did a sponsor. So I did a full sponsor video, and that one did well. But usually I'll do like 1 minute 30. I'll drop it in the middle of a Spider-Man video or any other superhero video, and that'll do great. So it looks good from that end. I always forget to tweet it, but I gave up on sharing my YouTube on Twitter.
I don't know, man. It's just weird to me. Like, I feel like those are the type of things that I put out or that I see people put out, and it feels like people intentionally ignore it and don't engage with it. It's like, oh man, he's trying to sell me something. Fuck that. I just dance for me, you
They
know?
they hate capitalism.
Right, but like, I'm not like I said, I don't want to ask for your money. I want them to pay me, So help me out. Help the not just me, but like everybody. And like I said, I try to do this for people.
Yep, help a creator out, people.
Like it's so simple. Like, oh, they got this opportunity. Like it. At least like it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I understand maybe there's some, jealousy. Oh, you got that cool thing. I didn't get it. Well, that sucks. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know, man. It's so easy. It's the easiest way that you can support the people that you appreciate.
Might have to fluff them up a bit, Jay. If you have a sponsor post coming up, maybe like try to build some hype leading up to it to try to get some attention to it.
I try to do it I try to do it a little bit, but like you also have to understand that I'm sure you do understand that a lot of times when you get these sponsor opportunities, like you're not supposed to talk about it until it goes live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the other thing. But yeah. So I'll do. I won't say anything specific, but if I can't say anything specific, I would say I'd be like, oh yeah, this I have a really important video coming up, so definitely I'll be on the lookout at this time or whatever, and leave it there. It could be effective if you have a particular piece of content that you're really excited about. I saw Evan did that for his 10-hour Venom deep dive. I actually saw the Marvel Rivals guy do one also for Venom. He did a Marvel Rivals Venom video. He made a video, a channel update video, and used that to promote it, which he was dropping the next day, which I thought was clever.
Yeah, I don't like feeling like a beggar, you know what I mean?
Jay. Get on your knees.
I will say that I did take your advice on this one and raised my rate a little bit.
Oh, finally.
Yeah. And honestly, the way I looked at it was I knew this video wouldn't do great. Like I didn't have these huge expectations. I thought it'd do better than 200 views, but maybe I was naive. I don't know. But I just felt like I feel like if I'm going to do something like this where it's not, I know it's probably going to detract from like my regular like videos. It's going to like probably like not sit well, I guess. I don't know.
No, it won't. It won't.
You might as well like you need to pay for that aspect too. You know what I mean?
That's the one thing I like about YouTube. They treat the videos for the most part individually. So if one video doesn't do well, it won't affect the next video. But they reward you when the opposite happens, where when someone watches one of your videos and then goes on to the next one and watches another one. So I appreciate that aspect.
Yeah,
of the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's just been frustrating me. I also like take pride. I have a lot of pride, so like for me to have to come back to these people, I'm like, hey, yeah, this shit sucked.
Pride cometh before the fall.
Yeah, like I almost want to just say, hey, man, this did nothing, so you shouldn't pay me. You know, like that's the type of person I am.
He's an honorable man.
But I mean.
I think it's one of those things where, speaking to that situation specifically, is like, how do you make your audience care? And I think what Sadot says is good, like tied into content people care about. But when it's something like that, where it's like a whole game that you're playing and it's like its own thing, it's hard because like so many people, like audience members, will view you as like one singular thing, and like the
Yeah.
moment you step out of that box, they're like, well, I don't really give a fuck about you anymore. And it's like, how do you, and like, how do you get people to care? Or like, not just Jay the Lego guy or Jay this guy. It's like Jay the content creator as a vast content creator, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to kind of convert those viewers into those kind of viewers. That's one of the toughest things to do.
Yeah, and I just wish that more people understood, okay, this might not be something I'm interested in, but this creator puts out content that I like. So let me just go quickly support the video, help the algorithm. I'll just click a like. Hey, I'll watch it for a minute or two. Maybe it's interesting, and like, but like it just doesn't happen.
The problem is most of y'all, and this is especially true if you're in a situation where you don't have like a steady, reliable audience in terms of viewership. It'll be like, okay, well, you're gonna have your loyal core audience who are going to support all your videos as soon as they go up, and then you're gonna then if it's something like that's kind of off the target, it's not the rest aren't going to engage because they don't give a fuck. They probably come to your channel for a reason, like, oh, right. they provide this thing that I'm interested in, and as long as if they don't see that, they're not going to go.
I get that.
So then YouTube is like, well, if it's not getting this enough engagement, then we're not going to recommend it to people who aren't engaging with it, and then so maybe people who may have been on your subscriber list that may have been interested in it are never going to see it because unless you like make some other posts advertising it.
And I get that, and trust me, I understand that, and like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I honestly had never heard of this game before, and I don't think most people have ever heard of this game before. And I understand that's kind of the point.
Yeah, I've heard of it. It sounds cool though.
But like, so there's part of me that's like, well, I don't know. You asked me to do this. Like, I did what you asked me to do.
The price is the price.
At some point, like it's not my fault that there's not enough buzz to get the people that do see it when I post it to like engage with it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's tough. I think I care too much. I think, and I wish I just had that. All right, well, I did it. Pay me, mentality. But
I definitely have that mentality.
Yeah. Well, I mean, trust me, I'm definitely. I
am more selective. Obviously, I get a lot of scam offers, but in general,
the scam offers are insane lately.
But in general, I'm more selective. Like I'll look at things like a sponsor offer. Like, okay, first off, am I interested in it? Also, what are they offering? What are they asking me to do? And if they pass all that, usually I'll be like, okay, I prefer integrations unless it's something that's consistent with my channel output. Like, and there's certain stuff I'm not going to do. Like I avoid like health related stuff. Like I get a lot of offers. I got some offers from BetterHelp. I'm like, I'm not touching that shit. I'm not telling you to go to this fucking therapy bullshit website.
Yeah. I'm pretty much only going to do video games.
Yeah, I think the video games or like a product that you don't ingest in your body,
right?
like video game controllers or anything, like any shit like that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, once we started to get into and I did some stuff for like for Hello Fresh. I think I did the one of their companies, those meal deliveries. Yeah, those are fine, but like for drugs, I'm not doing drugs or health or Raid Shadow Legend. I'm not doing. I'm never doing Raid Shadow. It's just a point of pride at this point. It's just funnier not to do it at this point. just be this one content creator that did not take money from Raid Shadow Legends.
I never did either. Although that does remind me of something. Let me see if I can find it. I remember. We'll continue. I'll see if I can find it in time.
Yeah, YouTube. It's weird. User audience really stuff. Yeah, it's just something you gotta navigate as part of the the algorithm. You got it mainly rewards your channel if it has like a specific focus that people are coming for, that you just keep delivering. It's tough, but it's worth it once you break through.
Here it is. This is one that I thought would hit harder than it did back when I made it, but like I always, whenever we do Raid Shadow Legends, I always think of this.
Shout out to the claw raid. I appreciated it, Jay.
Yeah. So
I miss Marvel's Avengers every day. I can't wait for the Avengers 2. I think Hyrule is going to have the trailer ready by the Game Awards.
Yeah, totally.
Good to see Synchro. I feel like I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Struggler Bry in a while either.
Yeah,
is he okay?
What happened to Struggler Bry?
Struggler Bry will be a part of Synchro's new Marvel tabletop series that will be
that's good.
Dropping starting next week.
I got to tap into that. I miss Struggler Bry. I miss running Avengers raids with him.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I think he just was like, I think he found a lady and was working, and
that's how it be.
You know, that's how it be.
That is how it be.
Is how it be.
Oh, I'm glad he's doing the thing. So I'll definitely check him out. All right. I want to get back to playing some Astro Bot and watching some anime. So we're gonna wrap it up for this week. Thank you, our favorite tier 3 sub, High Ruler, for
the irony is we didn't even talk about Outlaws with him.
It's probably for the best. It's probably for the best.
We made fun of him for playing it wrong.
Seriously, upgrade your shit. Are you just done with the game now?
Until the DLC comes out, yeah. I beat this. Listen, this is how I play single player games really quickly.
Really quickly.
Story missions only. Once it's done, I move on. That's it.
You're a terrorist.
No side content. Side content's boring. It's filler. It's bullshit. I don't play it.
You're literally a terrorist. The side content Outlaws is actually good, by the way.
I've heard.
This is why you are side content for everybody.
That's crazy.
That if you're listening, never play games like this. Do not.
Yeah, please don't play games like
this. Dude, please help me? Did you ever equip a charm?
No, I don't know what those are. I don't know what they do.
They give you perks. There's like literally a charm that gives you an extra health bar.
How do you get them?
You like unlock them and you find them and you buy them from vendors.
Oh, I honestly maybe hit a vendor once. I didn't do any of that.
You're wearing the original outfit she comes with.
Yeah, that's called canon.
Why do you play open world games at all?
Because listen, I like the IPs. I just don't care for the rest of it. I just want the main story. That's what they care about. All right, they care about the main story.
Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
I immediately maxed out Crimson Dawn because the outfit they come with makes like being sneak like so much easier.
And Jay's really bad at stuff.
I'm not a sneaky person
at all.
Well, I'm just gonna be honest, guys. Obviously, you know, I have Skull and Bones I have to play. It was a priority to get Star Wars Outlaws finished so I can play a true quadruple A game. And
then he's also got to play around with his main Hermione and quit his.
Listen, it was double XP this weekend, and I unfortunately didn't get a chance to play a lot, so I have to go back and play as much as I can.
I finished the tutorial, and that's all I had time for.
Well, pray for me, brothers, because I am going to the Red Sox game tomorrow with my mom. And that's not why you need to pray for me. I picked this game very specifically because it is David Ortiz Funko Pop night. And if I don't get that fucking Funko Pop, I am going to go full Karen. I promise you.
Oh, I can't wait to see you on TikTok and Twitter.
You will absolutely see me in one of those videos. It'll be fat man child throws a fit at Red Sox game.
You're gonna have to get there like 8 hours before. like first pitch, right? Like it's gonna be crazy.
They don't open until 2 hours before start
Okay.
time, so we're gonna get there like a half hour before gates open, and that should be. They're giving out 7,500, and the Red Sox did not sell out today, so I'm hoping they don't sell out tomorrow.
They're gonna sell. They're gonna sell it tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I should be there plenty early to get one of these get these things. So
I'll keep you in my thoughts, Jay.
I'll pray.
Thank you.
I'll pray for.
I'm probably worrying about nothing, but
I'll pray for the funniest possible scenario.
No,
Be true to
it will be terrible. Like I'm actually kind of it. I try to bring my mom to one Red Sox game a year because I know she loves going to the games. We live like 40 miles west of Boston, which is still like Boston area. And
Boston.
I know people like Slipshock would like say, "Oh, you're not really from Boston," but yes, I am.
You'd be correct.
Nah, I'm from Boston. I'm Boston.
I think the way I explain it to people is that like if you're from not the city, if you're like from not Toronto, I tell you Toronto. If you're from Toronto, I'll tell you like the real city, right? And like that's the way I do it anyway.
Yeah, but like I'm from Boston. Like I'm Boston to my core. Like, you know, like it's a matter of what you feel. You know what I mean? So
it's a state of mind. It's a state of mind.
Exactly. Well, I use Jacksonville as an example. Okay, like like Jacksonville is 740 square miles. Okay, that is like 1/11th the size of Massachusetts, just the Jacksonville city limits. Okay, so you're telling me that like you can live 50 miles apart from a friend and still be in the same city.
Yeah,
and you know it's just wild. So
still not really Boston, but we'll let Jay have it because he's old. He's got to have something to cling to.
Anyway, so hoping I get that Funko Pop.
I hope something related to that happens. that makes it on social media. We'll catch you next week. Hopefully, Jay won't be in prison and we'll be available for the show. We might have a official PS5 Pro announcement by the time we do the next show. So we'll keep you posted. Keep watching our channels. Follow High Ruler on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, OnlyFans, and OnlyFeet, I believe, as well.
Yes.
And definitely drop a like on all of Jay's sponsored posts.
Please, I'm begging you.
That'll be a lot of.
I don't want your money. I want their money.
There you go. We'll catch y'all next week. I'm Sadot the Gamer.
I am not High Ruler, thankfully.
I am though.
So I guess I'm Jason Shockblast.
Yeah, right.
As Sadot dubbed me.
Zip it up and zip it out. Peace. My naysayers.